honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And just make sure. And yeah, you know, we out here once again, and we're gonna go right into it. You know, speaking on the famines, all right, that have been being foreshadowed, you know, all throughout, along with the rest of the coming destruction. And ultimately, man, you got the world, when you look at the way things are going, there's like a balance going on where the more destruction you hear coming, the more wickedness you see on earth. You know, wickedness is exceedingly polluting the actual planet everywhere. I was watching a live stream earlier today that was done by the elder brother Rakhaya Kwong over there in London, and he was basically going into how you got these heathens over there. You got these heathens over in Pakistan, you know, and in the East that are getting into some wild, sick ass, abominable ass things. You know, things that you would associate with Esau. You know, popping little boys, you know, and all manner of vile activities that are disturbing to even think about, right? But these are the things, the activities they're engaging in over there. These are supposed to be married, quote-unquote, straight women, all right? But we know clearly that's not the case, man. All right, and that goes to show you the whole earth is out of course. What scripture is that? Psalm what? All right, let's get that. You know, and that's why the Lord is bringing these famines. And I also want us to go through 2 Ezra, the 16th chapter. All right, that's why the Lord is bringing the famines and the destruction. Now they're saying in California that you having water shortages. You know, which the scriptures talk about that. Okay, and the Lord said, I believe it might be in 2 Ezra 16 about all these calamities coming, right? That are created for amendment. You know, yet these people are not going to change their ways. Got it? And real quick, see, oh, you already got it? All right, you can start here at the top. Yeah, from 16. I'm going to see if I can find it. But you go ahead.
This is 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 1. Woe be unto Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack.
Yeah, because ultimately, this destruction that's coming is not just going to be here in America, or just Edomites, or just Israelites in America. This is a worldwide destruction. Jacob's trouble is going to be a global thing. Now, Babylon the Great is going to get hit, you know, the worst. But these famines, the calamities, the electricity shortages, the cannibalism, the death that's going to be going on around, this is going to be a worldwide thing. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 2. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair, bewail your children.
Which is sackcloth. And that's basically the Lord saying, get ready to mourn. All right? Get ready to mourn, because that's what you would do. Now, sackcloth was a garment made up of goat's hair. Okay, and goat's hair is rough and coarse. So it would actually cause irritation on the skin. And the reason you would wear it is if it's in a state of mourning. Okay, to afflict yourself. So read that again.
Verse 2. 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 2. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children.
Bewail your children. Why? Because judgment is not going to exempt kids. That's a matter of fact, read this real quick, and then you can get Ezekiel 9.
This is Psalms. This is Psalms 82 and 5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness.
They walk on in darkness. All right? And that's because they don't understand it. And that's why we're out here, all right, which is to give the warning, give the understanding, but there ain't nobody taking heed but the elect. Now, you have other people that are listening, but ultimately, they're not going to fully understand what we're talking about until they get hit with it. You know, until the destruction hits. So they walk on in darkness. Why? Because, what's that, Isaiah 8 and 20? right, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. So what does that mean? If they speak according to the word, then there is light in them. So we're speaking according to the word because there's light in us. And when we are giving them the light and they don't want it, they're going to continue in what? Darkness. And darkness is what brings forth that madness that they're doing over there. All right? And pretty much everywhere. Now you can understand why the scripture said that Lot was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. All right? His righteous soul was vexed constantly. Because the wickedness doesn't stop. It just keeps on going, and what makes it more annoying is pride. It's wickedness mingled with pride. Go ahead.
All the foundations of the earth are out of course.
Yeah, all the foundations of the earth are out of course, because when the Lord created, you know, he had creation, there was laws that are supposed to be instituted in the earth to govern man, to govern animals, all right, to preserve life. But those foundations, how a man should deal, how reproduction should take place, how you're supposed to eat, what, you know, how you're supposed to move, how you're supposed to treat one another, how you're supposed to tell time, right? What ordinances you're supposed to keep, what you're supposed to plant, how you all of these things are a part of the foundation of the world, but it's out of course because this devil is changing it. He thinks he's God. Second Thessalonians, the second chapter. Go ahead. Oh, go slack. All right, that was good on that. Now, I quote for something else. Ezekiel. That's right. The what? And you know what? We're starting to see more and more why it is that the Most High has to bring it. Like, no, it's not that, you know, we just want him to bring it. No. The Most High has to bring destruction. That's the only way that things are going to be normal in this world. Here.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 29. Lo, this only have I found, that the Most High had made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions.
Right. So who is that talking about? Ultimately the Israelite man, but really everybody, you know, the reason these heathens are going to be under our laws is because men are not meant to be doing the stupid, ridiculous things that the world is doing today. All right? They have sought out many inventions. They've gone into idolatry. You know, they've gone into all manner of wickedness. You know, as they say, the highest form of witchcraft is pedophilia. So ask yourself, then why do they want to, in essence, legalize and accommodate for people that are in a mindset like that? You know, why do they want to do something like that? If this is a God-fearing country. And a lot of these wicked inventions are sought out by people that claim, you know, like I said, like a so-called God-fearing country. But yet, look at the things that are behind the front cover of this place. You'll find out it's all witchcraft. Even down to the designs of the buildings, it's all witchcraft. The obelisks.
No, I was going to say, because we've outed them through the Spirit. We've brought out their mysteries. You know how the hidden things of Esau have been searched out?
Right.
So now it's like, well, I found out, so now I just got to normalize it and just make it normal to be like this. Because this is how I am on the low when you don't know how I am. So now I have to put it out there and normalize it so you can just accept how I am.
Right.
I remember the Elder Tazawan, he did a video on like the building structures and the way the buildings are placed in Washington D.C. It all goes down to witchcraft. Like even the distance between the 5 buildings, you make like a pentagon or whatever.
Yep.
One more thing. I didn't know this. I watched a video recently with the Vatican. They have the resurrection of, you know, who they call Jesus Christ. And it's like some hellish, like bizarre bronze looking thing. And then the Vatican Hall, it's literally a serpent. I'm like, what the fuck?
And that's closer to the 3 unclean spirits in the book of Revelation. The Vatican is one of them, man. And we go into the word Vatican, I believe it's a false prophet or soothsayer. You know, go into Vatis and then the can. The Vatis, I believe, means false prophet, and the can goes into serpent. Okay, so even that name alone all right, goes into false prophet and the serpent and witchcraft. You know, but you mentioned cited a precept that Shalom brought out about what the Lord has made man upright. That upright is going into what moral excellency. Right? Enoch, exactly. You know, being morally excellent. You know, having that morality to you. That's something that the scriptures teach you, but the world doesn't teach you that. Right? That's why America lives in a state of moral decay. Right. Okay? And it's something that's happened, all right, going all the way back to the 60s and 70s. All right, the root of corruption really started in America, man. That's when the prophets started coming to the scene and put out, all right, like it tells in Isaiah 47, all right, the Lord started to uncover the legs, you know, uncover the hair, make the thighs bare, all right, exposing America for all the wickedness that she does, man. You know? That ties it perfectly with Romans, the 1st chapter, all right, about Romans got peace out there. Romans. There's a book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 21. It says, because that when they knew the Most High, they glorified him not as the Most High, neither were thankful, but became vain as their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Okay, so what? When you first had the law, statutes, and commandments, that's what the Apostle Paul also said in 2 Thessalonians that what? That we have to fall away first. Right. Okay, because at one point we knew who we were. We were the epitome of moral excellence. Right. An Israelite man, wherever he went, everybody was like, yo, I gotta be around these Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, okay, the 12 sons going to Egypt. I mean, Joseph made Egypt great. Right. You know? And Jacob made America great. Even though it was done, you know, in a form of wickedness, all right. But Esau used our people's power, our intelligence. I mean, you name it, we did it. You know, building this place up from ground up. Okay, labor. You know, a lot of these laws. Hey, the 14th Amendment was specifically for Jacob, but you know, Esau got to find a way to break through it. You know, so it went from specific laws to protect human beings and their rights to now they're making corporations become bodies, man. Corporations are taking the place of human beings. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of wickedness, man. Look at all the inventions that happen in this country, man, and around the world. The GPS, the pacemaker, all right, the red light, you know, the traffic system. All these things were created by Jake, man. Right. And did they get the credit for it? Did they get the credit for the inventions? No. It was Esau who took over and turned it into wickedness, man. You know? So it says, verse 22, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. And that's where you got a lot of people with that woke spirit. Yeah. You know, wokeism. But when you really look into it, everything they say is dumb as hell, man.
No, the scriptures say the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High.
There you go. You know? So a lot of people, you know, these so-called scholars, and they don't understand simple, basic things in the scriptures, man, because it's not of them. It's not for them, it's not by them, it's not with them, man. Right. You know? It says, verse 23, and change the glory of the uncorruptible power into an image made like a corruptible man. Yep. All right, and that's where you have the images that these people worship, the Santa Maria, the idols, okay, the concept of God and Jesus Christ. All right, he took the concept of the Most High, which is written in the scriptures, and he created a corruptible image out of it, man. You know?
Yeah, it says that what? Professing themselves to be wise, they what? Became fools. They became fools, right? Because at the end of the day, they were seeking more knowledge, you know, but in actuality, that was making them more ungodly. That was taking them further and further away from the Most High. And the scriptures tell you that what? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So when you stop fearing the Lord, you're going to start losing the true wisdom. Now you're gaining, because this is how the scriptures work. You know, that's why I said you can't serve two masters. To truly gain that completeness in one thing, you got to forsake the other. So as they started delving more into the left hand, they started losing more of the right hand. And they became fools before the Lord. Because how did we become living before the Lord? Through the true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, the law, statutes, and commandments. So when you depart from that, you become a fool. That's why when you go to this, an example is going to these colleges and so on and so forth, and you come out with a degree, thinking that you've gone through all these years of learning, being educated, and really you're not, right? You're being indoctrinated. But you think you're coming out with that. When you come to find out, a lot of these people, even look at vocab alone, with going to these theological cemeteries, they're fools because they're learning straight BS that doesn't make sense over there. Yep. Then they come against us, average men, and they say, this is a disgrace. Because how is it that I went to all these years of theological seminary and these men are schooling me in the scriptures?
Because they don't understand that it's spiritual, man. It's all spiritual, bro. You know, if you're non-spiritual, you're not going to get it. That's why Scripture says a spiritual man judges all things.
But it's judge of no man.
It's judge of no man.
The carnal man cannot
Can't discern because it's spiritually discerned. Right. They're spiritually discerned, man. In order to understand these things, you have to have the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to guide you, man. And he does that through men. Okay, but he gives the spirit to men, all right, who are well seasoned, all right, so they can guide those who are upcoming, man. Okay? So what? Going back to precept that says what? Train up a child in the way he should go, so that when he is old, he will not depart from it, man. Okay, so you need guidance, man. You can't just get up and do whatever you want. That's why children have parents. Okay? Guidance. Okay? You need to be guided, man. When you're traveling in a place that you don't know, what do you normally use? A GPS. Okay? You need to have a GPS. You have the spiritual and you have the physical, man. Okay? The spiritual is that spirit that guides you. The physical is the teachers who give you the destination. This is where we're going. This is how to get there. I've been there many, many times. Usually this is your first journey. It's going to feel like a long road because every time you go to someplace new, like you're going on a trip or whatever, it feels like forever. You know, until you get there, you go there a couple of times, you're like, oh, it didn't feel that long. The first time you went, it felt like forever. It's like a never-ending trail. You know, it's the same thing. That's why scriptures talk about how wisdom is going to deal with you in crooked ways, man. You know, when you first come to the truth, it feels like a long journey, you know, even learning the scriptures. But once you understand it, it feels like a small book. You know? So you need guidance, man.
You start off in the passenger seat, but eventually you got to start driving, right? So you got teachers that show you how to drive, and they tell you where you got to go. You know? Because look, after a certain period of time in the truth, you don't need to be getting driven.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we gotta go do other works. You know what I'm saying? In terms of teaching others how to drive. So we can't, here it is, you know how to drive, but you always in my car. No, you go get your own car and you start going to the destination. You know? You can't sit in my car and say, well, since I know how to drive. That's like me sitting there saying, this brother's doing the works, so I'm going, you know, go based off the works he's doing. No. You learn so you can go, that's the point of we're raising up teachers, right?
Yesterday I was watching the other apostles video a long time ago. It was understanding spirits and demons, and the elder apostle Tahar, he said that there was this lady that had like demons in her house, and then there was a group of brothers that were around her area, and then he called the brothers, and then he told the brothers to go exercise the demon. Yeah. And then the brothers were like, how are they gonna do it? And they needed something. Then Apostle Tahar said, hey, go figure it out. And then in the end they went to go do it, they sent up prayers, and they actually felt the presence of Deacon Lee. They had that experience. And it helped them grow, you know.
They have to get tried out. You know? And then through that, now like next time, they already know what they gotta do now. See, because here's the thing, right? Say Apostle gave him a list, follow exactly this. Chances are you go, but you might not follow exactly that. You know, you're in the middle of saying the prayer and a fucking chair just flies by, you drop the paper and shit. You know what I'm saying? How you run like, get your phone light, then the lights go out. Hey, next thing you know, next brother, you already down the street and shit. Like, so when you gotta figure it out, the spirit will lead you. You know, because you going in there like, whatever the spirit tells you, that's what you'll do because you don't got nothing else to go. So hey, you know, let's say this. Hey, you know, then the Lord is guiding you to say the right things. Next time you go, you've already figured out the rhythm. You're gonna do what you did last time. Now, if Apostle House do it himself, he might have done it a little differently. You know, but there's, you know, you may walk, you know, the right side may walk the left side. You may walk faster than me, so long as we get to the same destination. So that's why I say you figure it out because you got to be your own man. You know?
That's it. Because we already had this. Yahushua already gave us the power over demons and stuff. You know, he said, don't rejoice because you have demons or you have power over the demons, but rejoice that your names are written in the kingdom, man, in the book. You know, so that's the most important thing. If you have the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, nothing can come against you. The demons are subject to the power that we have, man. Right. That's why you see demons come up. They hop on people and they come up and they get cut. Yeah. You know? But very soon it's going to become where you're literally going to see people with demons on them, man. Running around butt ass naked. You know? Like all kinds of shit. Saying different weird shit. You know, and brothers going to have to step up and have to cast those demons off of people, man. That's all part of the miracles, man. You got these other guys talking about we ain't going to have no signs until the Lord come back. Right. What you talking about, bro? We was already performing miracles 2,000 years ago after he left. So what are these guys talking about?
Right, exactly. But that's why the Lord says shall he find faith on it. Right. Because that, you know what I mean? Then the scripture says, when men will not believe that thou art of a full power, that's when the Most High shows his power. So, you know, it makes the boldness of them manifest, right? Of those that believe. You know? I mean, wouldn't you want miracles? How the hell are we supposed to eat? If there's a famine, how are we supposed to eat and everybody else not eat?
The spiritual power, how to defend yourself.
Yeah.
These troops are coming. These elites
The
are coming.
Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard
Against it. What about that?
Yeah, teachers my hands to war. Oh, matter of fact, he says they that wear the army shall renew their strength.
Mount up with wings as eagles.
Yep.
So what's that all talking about, man?
Yep.
We see the problems that's going to cause those spiritual power moves to happen, but yet you see the problem coming, but there's not going to be a solution for it, man. What kind of
faith provokes miracles.
There you go.
But for those, but see, just because somebody doesn't have faith doesn't mean that we don't. No. We got it here. We looking for it. And the Lord said, "What? Seek and you shall find." So we gonna keep looking.
He said, "Wait upon me." You know.
I was gonna say, 'cause I was meditating on that when I saw that. Now this is gonna sound a little cheesy, but at the same time, after I watched that, the Spirit told me watch Dragon Ball Z at a certain episode, and it was when Gohan was sorry, not Gohan. Goku was training Gohan in the hyperbolic time chamber, and he was telling him when he was training to become a Super Saiyan, and Gohan almost did it, but he didn't get that. He didn't transform yet. Goku basically told Gohan, power comes in response to a need, not a desire. Now you have to ask yourself, now is not the time for spiritual power. If you want spiritual power now, you be desired just to glorify yourself, just because you want everybody to see you. Everybody come to me, hey, I can heal this one, I can do this. You want yourself, it's a desire that you want. But like Goku said, power comes in response to a need. When the time comes, like the brother was mentioning, when the troops come in, when there's famine, that's when the miracles and things like that are going to happen. That's when it's not going to be a desire. That's when it's going to be a need for power, for you to have the spiritual power, to defend yourself, to eat and things like that. If you want the power now, it's really just a form of desire. You just want to be seen.
That makes all the sense in the world. You know, the Lord said he's going to come. That's why Isaiah 59 and 19 says what? When they shall come, the enemy shall come in like a flood. Then the Spirit of the Lord is going to lift up a standard against them. You know, because the Lord is going to defend us. Go ahead. Yeah.
This is Ezekiel 9 and 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
That's right. So the point is that we are sighing and crying for the abominations that are being done here. You know, like we were talking about earlier today. I mean, the shit is out of control. You got demons talking about they want rights to basically put a grown baby to death. You know?
That's not human sacrifice. And we always brought it out, but people used to look at it as conspiracy theory. Now they put it in your face. So much so that people are getting overwhelmed to the point where it's becoming normalized, man. You know, they're putting it right in your face, man. Margaret Sanger, you know, Planned Parenthood, all that stuff. Now they don't even gotta hide it. We've been telling you that they put baby fetuses and aborted fetuses and food, Sonomics, all that stuff into the Vanessas. It's known. It's common knowledge. But see, they're normalizing it and making it seem like, okay, but it's just science. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you know? But that's the reality, man. That goes to show you. And I got a cool piece of, you know, about to this back. All right? Yeah, I want to get it real quick. All right? And this goes to show you that we're really at the end of this thing, man. Okay? There's a book of, there you go. There's a book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 6. It says, for wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Okay, so the hurtful works, the things that he used to do in the background that will affect people in the forefront, now is being fulfilled, meaning it's being put in the forefront, man. You know, the Lord said he's going to give them a time, a space where they're going to be committing the wickedness, all right, so we can learn from those wickedness and be like, oh, that's not what we're supposed to do, all right, as Israelites. The Lord is doing that in a form also exposing Esau, and now the exposingness comes to the forefront, man, because of this truth, okay? So now you got Esau just like, you know, the fire's coming, so they're twisting and turning, and they're just like, all right, just get me, I'm right here. You know, and people are just like turning a blind eye to it, man. You know? But when they come out straight to your face and they're like, yo, we do eat babies and we do drink blood, it's gonna come out, man.
Yeah, but you know what? They're gonna sit there and laugh at it.
Right.
You know, they're gonna clap.
Right.
Wow, I mean, we gotta be inclusive. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you believe in. So, I mean, but this is the stupid shit that people think that it's supposed to be okay. Yeah. And you speak out against this, and all of a sudden you're a dictator. Well, the scripture said hate the evil, right?
Love the good.
And love the good.
Yep.
So it's not condemning Satanism and murder of babies. Is that not us doing what the scriptures say?
That goes to show you how crazy this world has become.
Yeah.
To the point where you talk bad about Satanism and that you're looking at it as crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That goes to the foundations of the world. Of course, this is why judgment needs to come, because you ain't gonna call a famine racist, you know, or a bigot. That shit is gonna kill your ass regardless. The family don't give a damn. You know, the pestilence that's coming, the Most High is gonna be behind it, and it won't stop. That's the thing. The judgments that are coming, they won't stop. You know why? Because there's a mission. There's an objective that these judgments have, and that's to destroy. That's to actually put these people. 2 Nephi 16, we don't get into it, but it talks about many that dwell on the earth shall perish of famine. So when the food shortages you're hearing about, they have a role to play, and that's to kill a lot of people on the earth. You know, and it's a serious thing, but we tell people, and it's frustrating because you would think that after this whole situation, after we told them exactly what was going to happen, and it happened exactly, these same dumbasses have gone back to comfortability. You tell them, look, the next thing that's coming is this. They literally openly, the Rockefeller Foundation, the World Economic Forum, Biden himself, you know, all these people are literally telling you straight up, look, BlackRock, telling you that, look, there's a famine coming within 3 to 6 months. And niggas are walking around like everything is all good. You know, completely oblivious to this, man. But that's why we're the ones signing crime. That's why, see, the angels can destroy you through pestilence. Angels don't gotta physically always touch you. The angel of the Lord sent to when David messed up and he numbered Israel, the angel of the Lord sent was the pestilence was by an angel. And the Lord had to basically, you know, tell him, yo, chill out. You know? Yeah. Because them angels, they just go into, when the Lord tells them what to do, they go into command, like attack mode. Because the scriptures tell you that they appease the wrath of him that made them. See? In their fury, they lay on sore strokes. So their job is, look, I'm finna just all I know is do what the Lord told me to do with all my might. That's how the angels roll. They don't make mistakes. They don't do none of that.
Righteous mercy.
That's right. All right. Let's go back to Ezekiel 9 and finish on 5.
It says Ezekiel 9 and 5. And to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city.
So this is when you're going to see the importance of the men of the Lord. People don't respect us, man. People don't look at us as you know, anything more than just regular men who are always talking about the same thing over and over again. Even your loved ones. You know, they think they of course they listen, but it's like, he's always talking about the same thing again. You know. But when it actually starts to happen, you're gonna see how needy these people are gonna be. They're gonna be like a clingy high school girlfriend. You know? Every 2 seconds, yo, so what does this mean? You know, you probably gonna get tired of hearing that. Yo, so what does this mean? So what's going on? So what do we do? So what about this? What about this? And you're like, wait, hold on a second. All these questions, they should have been coming at a time when I was ready to give you the answers. Now the Lord might have mercy on, you know, those that are around you. But for other people, we're not going to be in the mindset or have the patience to want to tolerate your questions. Because you mean to tell me we've been out here for years. There's numerous videos out there. So many videos now we're doing repeats. Right. You know? Right. And you're going to come out here now when all shit is going down to ask us questions that we done already dealt with? Well, during that time, we ain't gonna want to sit. Oh, okay, yeah, let me grab a Bible real quick. Right now, you start talking to somebody, they ask questions, you're willing. But that spirit, you notice that whenever somebody sincerely inquires, your joy is to teach them. The Lord is going to turn that spirit around. So when somebody inquires, you're going to get inflamed. You're not going to want to talk to them. As he told Ezekiel, right? He's going to make our tongue cleave to the roof of our mouth. That's metaphorical now. We're not going to be a reprover to you. We're not going to tell you what you got to do and what you shouldn't do. No, we're going to let you do what you wanted to do right now. You want it to be left alone. So we're going to do just that. We're going to leave you alone. Right?
And smite, let not your eyes spare.
Now, smite means to kill. All right? And he told them, don't have pity. All right? That's what it means. Don't let your eyes spare. Go on.
Neither have ye pity.
That's it.
Slay utterly, old and young.
So they're supposed to kill utterly, old and young. And they don't transgress the word of the Lord.
Yeah, and I was like,
So they're going to kill whether they're little babies or whether they're grown old people in nursing homes. Them angels, look, the Lord said, look, take out them people in there, man. The angels set a fire in that building. Now, all hell is breaking loose. You think the nurses are going, all hell's breaking loose. They're going to run back to the nursing home and say, oh shit, let me make sure that the patients are good. When it comes down to it, then everybody's for themselves, man. Who? For somebody that's immobile, right? Immobilized or old person who needs to be changed every day, what nurse you think is going to say, all hell is breaking loose, but I got to go to, majority, let me tell you something about these nurses, man. Majority of these nurses, they just there to do their job. They're not there because they actually care about the people. And that's why a lot of these nurses, they look like they fed up with their life. I got you in a quick minute, They come to work and they just piss the hell off. How you go, hey, don't talk, you know what I'm saying? They're mad as shit. They're not going to be, all hell is breaking loose. And oh my, I care so much about Betty, the bitch that curses me out every day when I come to change her. I care so much about her that I'm going to run and get on the Uber, which is not working, to go and make sure Betty's okay. You want to say something?
As far as the nurses, man, I was in that hospital for that week, man. They was giving me hell. Like, that it's like a button that you press before. 30 minutes later they come. I'm like, oh, what if I was in a early civilian?
Right.
They come and then we got, when the time comes, they drop everything.
Hell.
And they ain't trying to nurse nobody no help. Like you said, they come in there, you get 8 hours to leave, just like everything else.
That's it.
And remember too, that during the so-called pandemic, all right, that was before they got that thing.
Oh, yeah.
That thing is it got something in it, man. A lot of people are not the same no more, man.
Yeah.
That empathy that they normally have is not like that no more, man.
Right.
It's almost like people became nurses because they actually cared about helping. Now it's more like that's just what it is. It's just a profession. I just gotta do it.
Yeah.
And also remember, in a time of a crisis like that, there's going to be less people in the hospitals who are working and more people who need to be worked on.
Yeah. It always happens.
Yeah, so they're not going to be like, look, I'm overwhelmed. Let them who need to die, die.
That's it.
And woe to you if you're not down with the system.
Oh.
If your ass end up in there and you're not, you're not up to date with your stuff.
Oh.
You're not going to be paid attention to, man. You're going to be second-class citizen, man. Don't even step foot in there.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, there was a guy, remember? He didn't take the thing. It was an old man. And he was dying. And they brought him to the front, and then the kid was like, yo, my dad is dying. Can y'all take care of him? They said, look, you don't got the proper credentials, we can't bring you in here, man. And they watched the man die right in front of the thing. He got his wife, his kids, everybody trying to give him the CPR. It didn't work. And he passed away.
Right.
So remember, at this point, everybody who goes into the hospital, the doctors right now, they get paid to make sure that you die. It's on the certificate.
Or that's what they came to find out, that a lot of these hospitals were getting paid with the more people that came in there, and they put them on them ventilators and stuff like that. Because once you go on, chances are you ain't coming back.
So they get paid. It's all an agenda. It's an agenda. Why the hell would you run to a place that's looking to kill people, man? Them the same niggas that took a Hippocratic oath.
Yep.
When you look into that Hippocratic oath, it's all about witchcraft.
Yeah.
It's literally witchcraft, man.
Yep.
So don't
It's not to Greek gods.
and all
A lot
that.
of these are so-called Christians. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's a good. You gotta ask me. You got a lot of women that love to get into nursing, whether Muslim or Christian or whatever faith they are. You gotta tell them, in the Hippocratic oath, they really swear to Greek gods, right? In the name of Hermes and this guy, Hippocrates, that we're going to take care of these people. So, does your belief say that it's okay to swear to other gods? What's that about?
Right.
But then the Caduceus, and they so happy, they see the shit, the symbol. Yeah, you know what that is, right? Yeah, that's the Caduceus. What? So you don't know what that is, you know? But they go into it. You notice a lot of women are into that nursing stuff, man. You know, a lot of women, that's where they want to go. And you're like, yo, come on. All y'all be doing is getting stressed over here. Y'all come home, you work 8 to 12 hour shifts, you come home stressed out. Why the hell is everybody rushing into this shit? You know? And y'all don't even care about the people.
Wow, there's a lot of women too, especially the young women. They're cold, man. They're very cold because they used to seeing dead bodies over the past 2 years. You know, like some of them, like we heard the stories. You know, some of them they had to literally transport dead bodies, man.
Right.
They first came in like, yo, we're trying to help. They'll build a relationship with a patient, and they'll be like, yo, I'm trying to help you. Like I'm sincerely trying to help you. And based on the higher ups information that they're getting back, like, now leave him to die or put him on this. He's like, no, but I can do this to help him. I said, leave him alone, man. Let him die.
Yep.
So they got cold. So you go there right now. You know, you go there right now thinking that, oh, you know, I'm going to go to the hospital. You know, you're going to go to the hospital and that's how you're going to be saved. The Most High going to kill you, man. Because everyone who ends up in the hospitals, like I said, you're going you're going to be dead, bro.
For the most part.
For the most part, you're going to be dead, man. The only ones who are going to really receive that health, that restoration, is the Lord's men performing those miracles. Those are the signs that's coming down very soon, man.
Right.
That's that spiritual power that's coming very soon. All right, everyone's going to notice it, man. They're going to know the power, the true name, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and what it's going to be doing very soon on this earth. Right. All right? And that's what's going to make Esau come against the men of the Lord even more. Because not only are you waking them up spiritually, but you're also healing people. You know, you healing people like this, yo, they're going to come after the men of the Lord.
Oh, they did that actually. You reading the history. What's my man's name? Damn, he was one of the bishops in the church. I think he was killed for that.
Oh, Antipas.
Antipas? Yeah, the martyr. Yeah, because Asclepius, those that were the Roman healers, right? They were getting upset because Antipas was healing in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So they said, yo, this guy's using them false gods to take away our business and our people and so on and so forth. We gotta take him out. Why do you think today, which you know, we're gonna switch topics, but whenever you start talking about that kind of field, they come for you, your video, everything. Anything remotely close, yeah. Medical, yada yada. You know? But ultimately, did you finish on that? Oh, old and young, right? Right. So ultimately, this is what the Lord is going to do. Because life and death come from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. The scriptures tell you that even the person taking care of you, the physician is supposed to pray.
Yep.
You're supposed to first pray, then your physician prays. So that he may have success in whatever he's going to do to you. Because it's by the will of the Lord. Go on.
Ezekiel 9:6. Slay utterly, old and young.
That's what the Most High told them. That's the commandment the Most High told the angels. To slay utterly, old and young. What?
Both maids and little children, and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary.
Yeah, all right.
Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house.
Right, so the Lord is putting out a hit on the whole entire world, man. Even though people, you know, have this contrary belief that, well, God is all love. When you read the scriptures, the Most High is not all about love. He's a balanced power, man. He's a judge. What judge have you ever been to that just loves people?
Directions?
Nah, man, you be surprised what kind of judge. You be like, damn, bro, like, they would say, listen, bro, they don't want to hear none of the emotional shit you got to say. All right, it's all about righteousness and wickedness with the Most High. All right, and he appoints those for the righteousness and he appoints those for the wickedness, and he's setting up angels and saying, look, when you go down there and make sure anyone who's wicked, man, woman, children, put them to death, man. Nobody's going to stop that. And how's that going to happen? When you see them troops running around. When them troops come out, the Russian troops, the Korean troops, the UN troops, they come around and they have no mercy. They're raping people, they're killing people, stabbing people. You know, you see a pregnant woman and they'll just stab her in the stomach and pull the baby out.
But see, they used to do this. When you go and read about what they did to the natives when they came over here,
They did
the same
that.
spirits.
Yep.
So what makes you think that they will, especially now with legal permission?
Yep. Yep, and it says, start at my sanctuary first. So Israelites are going to be punished the most, man.
Hell yeah.
You know, the hatred that Esau has always had for Jacob is going to come out on full blast because the Lord is the one who's turning up his spirits, man. The Lord is going to turn up that spirit, man, and he's going to put that evil, satanic, demonic, killer spirit, that Esau spirit, that, yeah, the days of my father's death is here, and I'm going to mourn him. After that, I'm going to go kill my brother. I'm going to slay my brother Jacob. That spirit is coming back.
Yeah, he's going to see the Most High is going to put. You think Esau is dangerous? The Most High is going to put his wrath
Right.
within these people. We don't have. See, you know how sometimes we get in the spirit. That's just a fraction of the Lord's spirit manifesting through us. He's going to take, because Esau is the perfect vessel to harness the anger of the Lord, because he's wicked. Esau got no mercy in his mind. So when the Lord, that's why the scriptures say that deliver us from the wicked, which is thy sword. Because the Lord chose what? The Most High didn't say, all right, let me look at all the heathens. Who's the worst among the heathen? And let me pick him. No, the Most High created Esau specifically. That's why he got his own category as the sons of the wicked. You know? Because they got no mercy. These devils have no mercy. And you're going to see them in their true colors. Because when do people usually show their true colors? Whenever calamities are breaking forth. They don't got to put on no act for anybody. It's survival first, right? So everybody's going to be for themselves. We're going to find out just who's really who in that temple.
You go back to the Spanish Inquisition. All right, it's going to be an American Inquisition, man. It's going to be a global Inquisition. Anyone who has some type of spiritual, type of, you believe in God or whatever, they're going to come after you, man. Look, they lead to that direction. The same thing that happened back during the Babylonian Empire, where they came after those who believe in the Heavenly Father, Daniel, the three sons, the three brothers. They're going to come after us just like that. They're going to set people up. They're going to say, you see anybody reading the Bible? They're terrorists. They cannot be allowed on here, man.
Did they show that Handmaid's Tale?
The Handmaid's Tale, yep. So that's what's coming, man. And we're warning you about it because they show you the movies all the time. They show you the movies because these directors have to know about the scriptures.
Of course.
The best stories they could tell for people to go watch is from the scriptures, man. Yep. Change the characters around, but keep the same theme. And people are going to come there and watch. You're always going to have good guy versus bad guy. That's just the order of things, man. Yep. Okay? And right now it looks like the bad guy's always going to win. But again, what the scriptures say, when he's about to fill his belly, then the ultimate good guy's going to come in and crush their shit, man. Yep. All right? The stone that's going to come down and destroy all this shit, man. Yeah, and set up his kingdom.
See, at the return of Yahushua, the world is going to be looking, well, at least the elect are going to be looking for Yahushua, but the majority of the world is going to be looking for some deliverance. Right. Because the world is going to be in such a horrible condition that it's going to be, you can't inhabit it. You can't live on the earth. Yeah. It's going to be so hard to survive on the earth. And at the return of Yahushua, it's going to be scarcity of life because of so much death during Jacob's struggle. Right? The world is going to be much fewer people on the planet Earth when Yahushua returns.
That's true. That's why Yahushua said what? That if he didn't speed up the days, there shall no flesh be saved. But he's going to do it for the elect's sake, man. And that's why days are flying. And we're already what? Almost midway through May. Yeah. Like, yo, it's like
just made it.
It was just made it. We just started the whole year, man. I remember this like it was yesterday. We did our 31st to the first stream. We just had that, man. Yeah. A lot of things, and you notice a lot of things are happening, heavy spiritual things are happening on the Sabbath. Yeah. Next, the 14th into the 15th, where we're having our feast, it's going to be a Sabbath, number one. Number two, it's going to be a lunar eclipse. So the Lord is showing all the signs, man. The signs of heaven.
This is relative to Jacob's struggle and just the mental state of how men can be in war. Numbers 31:17. Now therefore, kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that has known man by lying with him. But all the women, children that have not known man by lying with him, keep alive for yourselves. And that was Moses that put that order up to the Israelites, because he didn't want them to be with the Midianite women that had children. So men aren't going to pity women with children in that time.
Yeah. I got this thing here. All right, it's called the Jesuit Oath. All right, and that is the epitome of what Esau is going to do to the people, especially Jacob, very soon, man. And we just read in Ezekiel 9. That's right here. I'm gonna read it real quick. It says, I furthermore promise and declare that I will, when opportunity present, that means the Lord gives them the green light, make and wage relentless war, secretly or openly, against all heretics. And to them, a heretic is anyone who's not bowing down with the system, man.
So this is the Jesuit Oath.
Yep.
Followed by the Jesuits.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And the Jesuits are part of these secret societies,
Yep.
these quote-unquote elites.
Yep.
So for context, those that are behind the scenes passing these legislations, making these rules and so on and so forth, that control Biden and all of them,
Yep.
that's their mindset.
Yep. It says Protestants and liberals, as I am directed to do, and that's why they send a lot of people up. You got these people who are following after the so-called the liberal way of things. You're gonna be exterminated too. You sodomites, you transformers, all they're gonna destroy all exactly. Because why? It's the spirit of the Lord that's being put down on Esau to lay the land desolate, man. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord is the one who's putting that spirit out there. So you're gonna be like, wait, are they not for this agenda? Yeah, but they're not in control of what they're doing. It's all biblical prophecy, man. That red horse, what you think that's all about? What you think that's all about, man? Let's read. Oh, you got something?
Oh yeah, spoilers, but that new Doctor Strange movie, Multiverse of Madness, in one of the alternate universes, the Illuminati is in control.
I kept seeing videos on YouTube
Yeah,
about
it
that.
has Charles Xavier, yeah.
It's crazy too because I got you. Remember we were talking about it, how they basically with feminism and witchcraft, they try to protagonize witches. And there's a character in there, and I haven't seen it, so I don't know what side she's on. But Scarlet Witch,
And she had the horns?
yeah,
Like,
and she's literally a witch.
Yep.
Into witchcraft,
Yep.
but they put her on the side of the protagonist, which really shows you that a lot of these so-called protagonists are really the antagonists.
Yeah.
More on that point, the reason why they do that is to basically brainwash everyone into hating the Most High.
Right.
That's why Thanos will look like your enemy, and that's why Doctor Strange, who's also a sorcerer, will look like a hero.
Right.
But on the point with the Jesuits, I just found out today that Muhammad, the quote-unquote prophet, is related to Queen Elizabeth.
Oh wow.
It's way deeper than we might have assumed. Like
Look at that. Yeah.
the person that these who's Islam, right? They see him as like their lord or something like that. Way off. It's all a part of the Jesuits ultimately, because that's what Queen Elizabeth is a part of.
So now you realize, see, they ain't gonna just take some random ass nigga off the street and say, yo, we gonna put you in this position. Because what if the nigga go wrong? They gonna take somebody that they gonna make it look like that, right? And they even gonna act like they ain't got no parts in it. But they gonna get somebody that they know is in, and then they gonna send them to do all of these niggas are agents.
All of them.
All right, Jesuits, Rosicrucians, all of them, they are look, man. These we talk about the Rothschilds and Rockefellers, but them elites, man, it's not just one family, it's not just one group of people here. You got heathens that are a part of them top. They show you in a lot of TV shows that are like based in China.
Right.
You see them Moabites, yo, brutal ass wicked niggas in suits, and they got like some shows they'll have like some dark magic powers type shit. But they also come to meetings. Then the Edomites will be there, the Moabites will be there. You have a translator talking for them. So these look, man, the secret societies, they go deep.
Very.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, wasn't it like Bin Laden or Saddam? One of them used to work for the U.S. government, CIA. And then Obama went over there and got him or some shit. But he never got him. They just chopped his face up, put him a new identity, and say, yo, you did your job and you did what we needed, so that we could rush in there and put our own agendas and put our currency on that country and rip them of their resources. But they knew that over there. That's why they didn't want them over there. It was using using the word terrorists and doing all of this stuff to basically brainwash us over here, to rally up enough people to go over there to be, wicked. But it's all government and all, it's all secret society. I saw a video today with I think it was an Indian man who was speaking to his people, explaining how he's like, yo, why are we seeing media about what's going on in Ukraine? What does this have to do with us? And how come when our people are suffering, we don't see any news on this?
Right.
How come when people are suffering in Pakistan or the issue with Syria, we don't see any of it?
Right.
or it's not like made mainstream and we're supposed to feel bad for these people, but they're terrorists or something like that, and they deserve what's happening to them essentially. How come we don't see what's going on in our own country? That shows that people are starting to wake up that they have puppet governments, and that's why the scriptures talk about the sedition. You got like that Indian man, he might cause a little bit of sedition.
Right.
It's ultimately leading to something greater. People are gonna realize what's going on soon. The veil is gonna be lifted.
Right. Yeah, because you gotta ask yourself, like you said, how India is only in the news when they're talking about. I think last year they were talking about cases going up with a new, strain. All of a sudden, India is the number one focus. Oh, look at what's going on in India. You know what's going on in Sri Lanka? Ain't nobody hearing about that. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's focused on. So if for some reason, when they pick what crises they want to put out in the media and garner up support for, and that crisis always has something to do with them at the core of it. But people never catch on. Why is there all the problems in the world going on? They focus on this one. Of all the things going on, see, you had the food processing plants, they got destroyed. But which one? What crisis is in the media right now? Roe versus Wade. Why aren't you talking about the food that people? Niggas gonna get up and protest. You got lesbians protesting about abortions. Bitch, you don't even deal with men. But they not gonna get up and talk about the actual food that there's a crisis going on with. See how mentally retarded these people are?
I was driving yesterday in the city and I seen a flag that says, "We stand with Ukraine." I said, "Oh, what does Ukraine stand for? And what do you stand with them?"
Now, we're just talking about that multiverse and run.
Yeah, that's it right there. Dr. Strange. Yeah, we live in a strange world.
Okay.
Yeah.
And doctor means what?
Falsified. Exactly. So I'm asking, what is all this Ukraine shit? And then you see this a so-called president. This nigga always got a hoodie with regular camel pants.
Vladimir.
Zelensky. Yeah. I'm like, this is not a president, bro. This is a puppet who was put in there. Goes all the way back to 2014. Yep. I remember this, man, when the whole ISIS situation. All right. They had what's her name? Jeanette Napolitano. I butchered her name, which is all right, but she was part of the clan. I forgot, there's another female that was also part of it too, and they all part of the plan on how to destabilize these governments and bring in the puppet government so they can push their agendas, man.
Right.
Everything is infiltrated, man. Every government on this planet Earth is infiltrated. That's why you see what you see now.
Right.
That's why, the Supreme Court is infiltrated, because guess what? The Supreme Court, the people on the Supreme Court, they're wealthy lawyers, man. All of them are rich ass niggas, and they're appointed by the president. Okay, and they serve forever, lifelong service. And what their job there is to do is to make sure that they work with the so-called elites, okay, the corporations, the businesses, and so on and so forth. So they come up with the laws, all right, and make you think, oh yeah, they're fighting for our people and all that. And then the moment the law is put out there, they find another way in there and say, okay, well, this one is going to affect this, and this how it's going to affect you, and that's how it's going to affect you. And the people
appearance as a lamb, but speak as a dragon.
Speak as a dragon. That's exactly what it is, man. But going back to that point that we made, all right, these people are about to slay a lot of people out here in the streets, and that's all permission by Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. And that's when you're going to see that, damn, God is not all love.
Right.
There's a balance, man. There's a balance.
God hates too.
He does hate. He hates wickedness, man.
He kills when he hates.
And exactly. And that's why we come out here and we give you that balance. We tell you, look, we're not hating people just because we want to hate.
Right.
Look, if you're wicked, we coming at your helmet straight up. It doesn't matter who you are.
Right.
All right, we're ministers of righteousness. We hate wickedness. Right. Bring it over.
This is Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight.
There you go. A false balance is an abomination to the Heavenly Father. So you have to be just. That's why you have good versus evil.
And it says what? Abomination. It's not just that he dislikes it. Abomination. When something is abominable to you, you don't even look, man. Yeah, it's detestable.
And that's America. America is a false balance, man.
Oh yeah.
It's straight up wickedness. There ain't no righteousness in this fucking land. Look what's going on. The president's wicked.
2 15, one land will take to another. Righteousness.
Right. Exactly.
And they shall say no.
That's what's happening here. You go to the churches, the pastors are wicked, they teaching wickedness, they're making it okay to accept pedophilia. And remember Gabar used to say that? He used to say, soon they're gonna get pedophiles rights.
Right, yeah.
I remember that, man.
Yeah.
And it used to sound so crazy. I'm like, man, we're living it right now.
Hey, what's it called? What did you just say before that?
What?
You just said something before pedophiles.
I don't remember. It's a spirit. That's why. But it's go. It's go.
But I had something to say now.
Yeah, let's go.
No. Oh, got roll. You got something real quick. You got Yeah. No. Yeah.
In Psalm 83, verse 3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Yeah, you know what? Because at the end of the day, you know why it's mainly targeted against Israel? Because we get affected the most. See, when Antiochus made the decree, right, that all should be one people, who's really affected the most? Us. Because the heathens, they're like, all right, whatever, you know what I'm saying? We'll go from our lives to Buddha. But when it comes to us, we can't do that. The scriptures say, have the nations changed their gods? Right? So we can't just get up and just say, all right, we're just going to submit and take your whatever you got to do. So whatever it does, it really targets us.
Verse 4, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Right, because see, you got just black people going, and they did a pretty good job, right? Because they changed Israelites to black people, you know, and Latinos and Native Americans. Because now, see, that's why when we come out, they look at Israelites as a new thing, right? Israelites. They don't look at black people as Israelites because they're not behaving like it, they're not moving like it. They're just niggas, right? So what their job was to do through their policies, bully, lynch, and all these things was to create black people and to kill that spirit of Israel. Because when the Israelites came out, what else came out? How about Shimei Shah? The names started being pushed, the customs, right? The prophets came out on the scene.
Righteousness.
The righteousness. So this is what's associated with Israel. But black people been here for years. You never hear how about Shimei Shah. They commit adultery, they rapping about killing people and drugs and all this madness. So their goal ultimately is to push that and cancel us. That's why they got the stupid retarded cancel culture. The Most High is going to cancel you. You know?
Verse 5. Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate.
With one consent. So all these people, man, that's Revelation the 11th chapter, where it says that the nations saw our dead body, right? All they shall send gifts for what you remember. All of them, man.
That they are confederate against thee. I got 2 points I want to make on that. I just learned also today that JFK had ties to the mafia, and he was working to get Fidel Castro assassinated. I never knew that. And Fidel Castro, if you don't know, was a Mexican president, a Cuban president. Also, Kevin Samuels, there's a lot of information coming out about his death, that this woman that he was with is a complete fraud. Everything about her. Her name is not in the system. She doesn't exist. She has no history. She's not a registered nurse. And the photos that she used was some other model from another country, I believe it was Afghanistan. So the entire person that was with Kevin Samuels is a complete fraud. And that's related to what we're talking about right now. Kevin Samuels, now he wasn't a prophet, but he was trying to speak a message into our community to get the marriages back together. To get men to understand their value and women and how they ought to treat one another, basically. And he just ends up dead. And that's what happens. And that's what happens when you're not a part of their community, when you're not a part of their society, to basically destroy us. You reach a certain level and they cut the lights out on you if you're not with it.
Yeah.
How many artists have died in the past years? How many people, and especially in our community? Like, I've never seen this with other people. I never seen no Indian YouTuber that died for no reason.
Right.
No one knows. Like this only happens with Jimmy.
That's spiritual that you said that, because when did he die?
Like 2 days ago.
3-4 days ago, I was at work. And as I'm working, I randomly thought about Michael Jackson. And I thought about Kevin Samuels. This the random shit. This always happens. Before somebody dies, I'll randomly just think about it. It happened with the guy from South Africa. Yeah, what was his name? Kofi Annan, it happened, same thing. And then there was another guy, Mandela. Same thing happened with him too. Before he passed, I thought about it randomly. I'm like, damn, this thing about to die, and then he died. I said, oh shit, what the fuck? my pops before he passed, remember? Kevin Samuel shit, it was so weird because when I heard it, I was like, wait, I feel like I thought about this nigga randomly. But what I thought about was when I first heard that it was cardiac arrest, I said, wait, that sounds fake. That don't make sense because that's the same thing that happened with Michael Jackson. And they said it was the doctor Conrad Murray who was with him that actually killed. They tried to push that in there. And I'm like, yo, you listen, this was back in 2009, and we were kids. And I used to tell my mom, nah, this don't even make no sense. I don't even know Michael Jackson like that, but this shit don't make no sense. I'm watching the news, they always come up and say it. I'm like, nah. Years later, it comes out that he actually was about to buy out Sony. Michael Jackson, he was about to buy out Sony. So anytime a Jake is about to step up and make a big move against these corporations, they'll take you out. Yep. And people always die with heart attacks or cardiac arrests. Because that one is not, it's too hard to track.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
I was going to add to your point with the Michael Jackson thing. Because I remember looking him up after I came out of high school, because that's when I got into the Illuminati thing. And some of his music videos, he would actually speak against the Illuminati. Like one of his music videos, he was dancing or whatever, and the person was explaining in the video that the way he was dancing was actually him telling the Illuminati he's done with them. Like, you know what,
I think I've seen that too. Yeah.
And then another thing, the song he made, They Don't Care About
I was thinking that.
He was exposing them.
All I want to say is that
They don't really care. So he was exposing them, man. And like you said, the point that you made, Kevin Samuels, I have people on my job who talk about Kevin Samuels like it's a regular thing. I'm like, I remember years ago, I used to watch him because of Cologne. Like, he used to do videos on that shit. And I'm like, you do like Cologne reviews and shit, he's wearing his suit. I'm like, yo, who the fuck is this nigga? And now he's over 1 million subs. Like, he's blown up, and Jacob listened to him. And Jacob like, yo, and he's exposing these women. But guess what? He watches our videos, man.
But you know what? And that's the bar, I got you. The Esau is using these women. Remember, the serpent is using the look, they're replaying the garden out all over in modern day. They came to the woman and they're using the woman to mess up the man. How are they pushing a lot of these bullshit men get into is because the woman brings it.
There you go.
Right? So they're using the woman, and that's why a lot of these niggas end up as simps.
Yes.
Because Esau goes to the woman, pushes that woman, queen of heaven, other philosophy bullshit. Then they come and pushing on the men. So when you got men influencing men, yo, stop doing that. That's a problem.
Yep.
Now you got to cut these people out. Now you know what spiritual is. We say things, whatever Kevin Samuel was saying, we go into the core of it, and yet you can't touch us. So they got anybody that says something remotely close to what we're saying, something happens to them. Yep. But yet you can't. We saying it directly, and they can't touch us because there's a hedge around the men of the Lord. Yeah, what you guys about?
They say they juiced in with the system, so they dealing with the sacrifices that the Illuminati have to do anyway. They got a time for major celebrity to get wiped out.
Oh, Kobe?
Yeah, like shock value. Like, look, this was snapped out into our spell that is going on, and what made me bring that up was the fact that everybody was mentioning that this system has so many elite people in place that it ain't just Esau, it's all the evils.
Right.
And they all around the world dealing with controlling the population and thus and so forth. But the quick precept I was going to bring out is to say, the Lord, calculated it that way. And he used the heathen to do this, but pretty much in Job 9:24, he said the earth was given, it says, Job chapter 9, verse 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where in prison. So these people is all around in covert places doing these things. And it ain't about coincidence that these people die, man. Like I said, the Illuminati uses them as maybe a ritual. You never know. But at the end of the day, these things ain't coincidence. Zelensky died. He's looking so regular and like a typical citizen of their country. Is to knock us off to think, we need to have sympathy for them. Look how weak they is. Look at their president and shit like that.
And even with that, to show you, because when the first thing happened back in February, they said, Russia's invaded. We called it. We said, this is bullshit. This is complete bullshit. You know why? Because they're not telling us what's really happened to Ukrainians. And if Russia is already in there, what's the end result? What happened? Where the war at?
They just been there.
They've been there. They just there. They just took over, and now we just gonna keep sending aid to help Ukraine. And you don't see no Ukrainians who need help. All this money, they sent 300 million over there. They just Biden said he's trying to get 33 million, billion, whatever over there. And all you see is this nigga Zelensky every day. He popped up on the Oscars.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
And it's all mockery because the Oscars is what they give an award for actors.
Yeah.
And then you had two incidents. You had the Zelensky
Slap.
shit, and then you had the slap. It's all acting, bro.
Yeah.
Now you got two actors who are in the news. What's his name? Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. You know what that's gonna happen with that? That's how they're gonna milk that shit. And then when the time comes when everyone's attention is on it, that division between man and woman is going to blow up, and the whole country's going to turn up upside down, man.
Yeah.
There's no food, there's no water. You talk about a famine, unbelievable proportion worldwide. And then you got the Roe v. Wade situation. They're going to put the LGBTQ, no IQ people in there as well. Whatever they're about to do, man, they're about to piss people off. That's why they already set up defenses around the White House and the Supreme Court and all that shit. Yeah, they're getting ready, man. They're getting ready. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to mention there's a huge divide right now. Like what the brother's talking about, there's two sides, right? The Republicans, the Democrats, the liberals, and everybody basically has their own view, and they're not trying to turn from it. Right. But most of their views come from the mainstream media, both sides. So it's controlled opposition. Also, that's gonna cause a civil war eventually, especially with this whole like abortion thing. People are going crazy over this stuff right now.
Yep.
And it's all really just to invoke a certain spirit in people.
Right.
That iniquity has abounded, the love of many shall wax cold. That's gonna happen, man. You're gonna see it, bro. Lawlessness, man. You're gonna see. That's the spirit that they're conjuring up through the media. All right, you can see it, man. No food, and people bugging out like this in the summer when it's hot, bro. Go ahead.
I was gonna say with that Amber Heard and Johnny Depp thing, because you made a statement a long while ago. I can't remember if it was at camp or in a video, how you said how men, we always win at the end. And basically, when you look at it, which you have the example of Amber Heard, you have, what's her name? Will Smith's wife, I forgot her name.
Jada Pinkett.
And I forgot another woman. And when you look at all three of these women, they're all psychotic because they're saying that, I think Amber Heard, they said she has PTSD.
Yeah.
I seen something on Instagram. I never posted or anything because I thought it was too disgusting. But something with, what's her name, Jada Pinkett?
Yeah.
She came out and said how her grandmother taught her how to play with herself.
Oh, shit.
And basically, her grandmother taught her that basically to say how you don't need a man to give you pleasure. So when you get pleasure, you know that it came from you, not the man. And I'm like, and she said she taught her at 9 years old. I think that's what she taught her at. And I'm like, what is a granny teaching you these things for?
Right.
But my point is, to get to your point, how you said how us men, we always win at the end. You're seeing the thing with Amber Heard. You're seeing the thing with Jada Pinkett Smith, all these other women. Men are seeing that even these high up women, these women are insane, they're crazy, and it's like you can't please them, and they just hate you. And it's like, yo, women are just making sure that you don't want to have nothing to do with them, and you don't want to deal with them.
That's highly medicated.
This is Amos 3:2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. And that's just the Most High telling us that it's going to start with us. So I'm just supporting all the brothers, what they're going into. But the Most High is allowing this to happen to us because of our iniquities. So at the end of the day, that's why we got to repent and come back, because as you can see, what we're going into, everything is out of order. Everything is upside down. You got the men not in their right dynamic they supposed to be in, the women in the wrong dynamic, and we fighting the heathens. We not together as a unit, and we got the heathens together against us. We're not gonna get back to what we really need the structure to be unless the Most High and His Son come back to reset everything.
That's exactly what they're doing.
This is 1 Peter 4:17.
That's it.
For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High.
That's it.
And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Lord?
So what does that tell you? When he said judgment must begin at the house of the Most High, and if it first begin at who? Us. So Peter's telling you who are the house of the Most High, the Israelites. And judgment is going to begin here. Right now, you got a lot of, like we just said, men that are becoming effeminate, right? When all hell breaks loose out here, a lot of these women are going to get mad because they don't turn these men into effeminate creatures. Who are you going to run to for protection? You got women that are more bold than a lot of these men. So it's going to be very few real men out here to be able to actually provide, protect. Because you know what? Guess what? When all hell breaks loose, so you got people that are going around and right now they don't have mercy. Somebody try to kill you on a parking spot. What happens when there's no food? You think it's somebody that's in their youth that has strength sees an old lady with a cart full of groceries and there's a family going on around. You think they're gonna talk about respect the elders?
Yo, you got niggas knocking old people out for no reason.
Yeah, for no reason.
They ain't no food.
Yeah.
It's not like I want your bag or nothing.
Right.
I just see you and I clock you. That's it. You good night. So what happens then when old granny needs help? You think more you gonna have people with morality? Oh, that's a grandma, bro. Chill out. Let's not, bro. They're plotting on grandmas, man. Grandma's weak. First of all, grandma, why are you still outside? You know why? Because the system says grandma gotta go work. If not, she can't take care of herself, right? I'm walking around. I'm seeing all these old ass people, and they're working. I'm like, yo, why are you in the streets, bro? You got this old man, bro, and he's at a store. And his job is to be there, wear a mask, and say, hi, good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm like, bro, this is sad, man. This is somebody's grandfather who should be staying at home, probably on an island somewhere, and his grandkids are taking care of him, man. And he's enjoying the fruits of his labor. Like, yo, I had kids who had kids and who had kids. And look, I'm living life, you're chilling and
His
taking care of him.
grandkids are cursing him out behind his back while they in clubs committing adultery, doing all manner of wickedness. You know? But the brother said, yes, sir, you can't preach that.
Now, to add to your point, you said that Eve is going to be mad because there's no men out here, but Eve has to be mad at herself.
Yeah.
Because she's the one that, with the aid of Esau, kicked the man out the house. You're disrespectful to the man. You don't want to submit to the man. So now you've created a culture of effeminate men that, like the brother was going into, that are kicking men, disrespectful, like it says monsters in the scriptures. So now you have to blame yourself because this is what you've created.
And also too, man, and then we're gonna move in. Look, the men are really the problem, bro. A lot of you niggas, you are the problem. Because
They
remember,
need to ask
they need their ass kicked, bro. Because look, women follow men. They always follow men. It just happened to be they're following Esau because he's in the power seat right now. But you look at women in their natural state, they just need a power to follow.
Yeah.
That's why this calls something. You want women to be submissive, you gotta be on a mission. If you want her to be submission to you, you have to be on a mission. That's why women in our life, there you go, submission, under the mission. And what do? They'll cook for you, they'll clean for you, as long as they respect your power. And the true power we have is this truth. Every woman that we have that we're dealing with, guess what? They respect that because they know, you know what? He's on a mission, he's doing something. That's if you're dealing with her the right way. But if you're not going to do it the right way, like all these niggas and shit, women are tired of that. Niggas who be smoking, you know, and niggas is doing all this whole ass shit. Females don't want that no more. Effeminate. You know, women want men who can lead them, men who can check them, men who can say, no, this is wrong, this is right, do it this way, do it that way. With understanding from the scriptures, man. That's what they want. They want a balance. They want guidance. They want solutions.
because they always got problems.
Exactly. So they want a man who's stable enough to give them the solutions, and we have all the solutions right here in the scriptures, man. You know, and very soon, hey, with all the things that's happening, that's what's going to dictate how people are going to act. Not what you're saying.
Yeah,
Like, oh yeah, I don't need no man. You can say all the shit that you want. Guess what? You're gonna need a man. That's why Jada Pinkett can talk all her shit and she's still married to a punk ass bitch. It is what it is.
See, if
He's
I'm
not
not
real
breaking
man.
loose and freaking Chris Rock called her one-on-one and he gave her the slap, what's she gonna do? She gonna grow her hair back? You know what I'm saying? Like, this bitch is mad. Look. She don't get an afro and shit.
But damn, that's the spirit that you mentioned now. Because yesterday, while we had class last night, I couldn't even hear the video. I couldn't hear y'all brothers talking sometimes because right next to me, like this is my apartment, and right behind me, you got a couple that almost every week or almost every month, they always arguing and things like that. And mind you, it's a northern woman, but I think she might be Judah because when I think it was like a month ago, she was screaming so loud that you can hear, like you see this block, you can hear on the next block. That's how loud she was. How you hear somebody on the next block?
Clamorous.
And it's like, yo, she was screaming, neighbors help. And I'm like, no, I'm not helping. I'm not coming out to help. because like you and him always screaming at each other, yelling at each other. Now, you know, they are Israelites if they repent, you know, but that's between them and the Lord. But like you always screaming at each other, arguing. Nobody's, and I know I'm not the only one who was on that on the apartment floor that heard all that stuff. And nobody opened the door and she was like, call 911. Ain't nobody call 911. Ain't nobody up. That's between you and him.
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 16. I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman.
Right, Lord.
You see?
What? That's pretty much risking your life right there.
What
You got better chances with a lion than with a what?
Then with a dragon.
A dragon breathes fire, bro. You know what I'm saying?
But basically, she was the dragon. Cause like a dragon, you can hear it blocks down.
Oh, yeah.
That's how she was. I'm telling you, literally, you can hear the echoes of her voice from the next block. How are you that loud as a woman? How do you have, a man should be like that, not a woman, that I can hear you the next block? The whole block and the block behind can hear you?
Yeah, that ain't right.
Go back to that point that the whole earth is out of course because their voice is their weapon.
Right.
Well, back in the ancient times, if a woman was being, grabbed onto, being taken, raped, whatever, it's her voice that was her weapon. She's not stronger than the man, obviously.
Right.
So she would scream. But now they're using it the wrong way.
Yeah.
You know, females just do all kinds of things. So soon, you're going to be here screaming, but there's going to be no help coming, right?
Yeah,
You know?
it's like it. Like in my building, nobody called 911.
See? You're going to get killed. You know, women going to get killed in their apartments. You know, get messed up.
Yeah.
It's going to be the norm, man.
No, there was a video, a story about freaking 14-year-old who went and sexually assaulted some long time ago. She was 23 years old. 14 years old, and he raped her. And then it was some other dude. He went with some other dude looking for. While the other dude's looking for jewelry and shit to steal, he's busy raping the woman and shit. And I'm looking at it like 14 years old. Yo, these kids need to get their ass. Yo, somebody just needs to beat the shit out of some of these kids. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what's gonna happen when all hell breaks loose. Man, see, when you see some wicked ass nigga getting judged, you be like, damn, they fuck with Jacob. But you gotta think, this motherfucker might have been doing some crazy ass wickedness, man. And these women too. You see some of these women getting raped, they had fucking smashed against walls and concrete, they bleeding and shit.
Stomped in the face.
Think that the Most High wouldn't take a woman she ain't done that wrong, and the Most High is like, no, kick her ass. No.
We understand judgment. So when we see it, we praise the Lord. Because we're like, man, you did some shit that we ain't seen, but you offended the Lord, and that's why you getting all this, man. So if you repented, all right, you would have man of the Lord who gives you the right things to do. You know, you might not like it at first, but once the Spirit deals with you and you understand it, you're gonna understand. You're gonna be like, oh, no, you actually looking out for me, exactly. And you doing what a man of the Lord. You don't feel like these females talk about, oh, they feel oppressed because a man is in power. You feel like actually, you know what, I like this.
Take care of it.
Yeah. You know, you feel more security. You feel like, I'm with a strong man.
Right.
Because guess what? We're men among men. When when we're among other men in the world, guess what? They look up to us, man. We might be young, but you got grown ass men that be like, yo, you mad cool, bro. I fuck with you, bro. I like working with you, bro. Yo, I come to you for advice. Like, you be talking that self. Like, yo, how you get all this knowledge? Yo, the way you carry yourself. You know, it's the knowledge that increases us. It makes us feel old. You know?
Get the precept, and then
Proverbs 21:9. It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house.
Oh, it's the same one. Oh, yo, read that again.
Proverbs 21:9.
Oh my God.
It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop.
You hear that? In a corner of the housetop. You gotta go to because in the ancient world they had the housetop. You gotta do it in the corner of that joint.
Just stay over there. Get your tent, nice little.
That's what it means to dwell.
Yeah, live over there. You come upstairs, you go. She say hi, you're like, I'm gonna get my own food. The fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But that's what men have with they man caves.
Yeah, the man kid, yeah. Oh
Yeah,
shit.
that kid, yep, that's what.
Is that better to do that than what?
Than with a brawling woman in a wide house.
In a wide house. You got this big ass house, you can't even feel at home and she wrestling your ass. You know what I'm saying? She looking for you and shit.
Yo,
Also, that's why this place is Babylon the Great. Because look, people are confused, man. Speaking about the men that are effeminate, people are confused, and when that time comes, that illusion is going to disappear because the society is going to collapse. And people are going to wake up, but they're not going to be prepared for it. It's going to hit them way harder than people who have, like these truthers they might last like a couple days maybe, but if you don't got the Lord, no one's gonna survive.
Hey, because look, see, in that time, a chick, you know, like you said, that shock is gonna need to break into their minds because a chick gonna be wilding next to a guy, and he's thinking, yo, this bitch is really pissing me off. Why the hell is she talking? Yo, and he just blocks her, and then he realizes, oh, hold up, ain't no cops. Who's gonna come to this bitch's aid? Then all of a sudden he grabs her by the neck, you fucking fat bitch, you know what I'm saying? And he slaps her and shit, you know what I'm saying? Now all that anger that he's had all those years, you know what I'm saying? If I even look at this chick on, she gonna call the cops. He's gonna start realizing all these things. Cops. You know such thing as cops. You know what I'm saying? Who you gonna call? Bitch, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, that Johnny Depp situation, man, they could pull this shit, they could drag it out and come up with some laws that's gonna F you with it. They're gonna, because he's saying that he's suffering from abuse, mental health, and all that. Yeah, and they're trying to feminize the men. So they might put out a new law that makes you women, you gonna be like, damn, bro, like I didn't know it was like this bad, and you gonna be getting effed. You know, all that security that you always had, that security that they always gave you, that illusion of security, they'll take that away from you, man. That fence, once they lift that fence, you gonna realize, damn, I'm wide open, like shit. And that's when the men gonna come after you, man. These niggas in jail, these men that you put in prison, you lied upon them. Some of them, you got a brother who got his brother got shot because some girl lied about him. Right. He got jumped because this and that. The Lord's gonna put that spirit back on these people, man. Remember, it's not people, it's the Lord. And that's what we're telling you about, man. If you're right with the Lord, like the brother said, like the scriptures always say, you're messed up, man. You're gonna be cold cut, fucked up, man. That's it. Straight up. That's it. All right? Shalom, you got something?
Yeah, just a quick point. There was when they was in the court, they was playing a recording of something where her and him was arguing.
Yeah.
And she basically said, but they stopped it at the end, but you could tell what she was gonna say. She was like, go ahead, Johnny, tell the world that
the woman abused you?
that you're a victim of domestic abuse. Go tell the world that that basically victim of domestic abuse. So that lets you know, women know that they can get over you in court.
Of course.
Because they know that, they're not gonna believe you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, get your priesthood real quick.
This is Jeremiah 30:6. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child.
All right, do men give birth now?
Well, now, I mean, they're saying that, at this point, I mean, shit. Making a prophecy, I'm like,
They
Lord.
talking about they training these fucking students, these medical students, to learn how to help men deliver babies through their rods.
Yeah, I remember
You
seeing
know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh,
There
there's
was
a show.
video. There was a video of a man who actually, I think it was a concept trailer.
Oh,
of
years
a man
ago.
Push
I remember that.
Push the baby out
Yeah,
his rod and shit.
I remember that. And there's a
No, somebody
No,
else.
it's different.
He was literally in a bed,
Yeah,
and he pushed the baby out
like
his
a
rod.
woman.
Yeah, out of his
pushed the
rod.
baby out. Yeah, I remember this years ago. And now they got a show on Netflix, and that's how they get people. They indoctrinate people. They got a show on Netflix. I think it's called He's Expecting or something like that.
Oh.
And you got the woman behind the man, where her hands wrapped around the man's stomach and shit, and he's just standing there like a female like this.
My
Yo,
Lord.
and you know what it is? I think it's Moabite too. It's Moabite, not Jake. It's Moabite. This time they got a different nation to do that shit. I said, yo, what the fuck, bro? Like, I'm not gonna watch it. You know, I'm like, but they actually put it out there. And that's how these Netflix are, they're gonna lose a lot of viewership, man, because people are waking up to the BS. It's like, yo, it's too much now, man.
Yeah,
It's too much, man. Damn, bro.
Nah, go ahead.
Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins?
Jeremiah is seeing men in positions like a woman in travail. Like, yo, what's going on? Go ahead.
As a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it.
So Jeremiah said, look, this time that I just saw, ain't no other time gonna compare to it. Go ahead.
It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
It's even the time of Jacob's trouble. That term, Jacob's trouble, is gonna be known. You're gonna hear that, yo, JT, Jacob's trouble. Yo, what's going on? Jacob's trouble. Figure that out. You know what I'm saying? Well, what's Jacob's trouble? Well, you better find out. You about to find out.
The troubles that's going on.
That's it. You Jake, and that's the trouble. Jacob's trouble. Go ahead.
But he shall be saved out of it.
Now he is talking about the elect. See, we love doing this. We love coming out here and doing the work of the Lord. Because, see, if the Lord was to say, yo, run up a mountain every Saturday, you know what I'm saying, and come back down, we would still do it. Because at the end of the day, it's about what we're going to get in return for it. But we passionate about it. Because, yo, I mean, what is the real labor of this truth? When you study and you gain knowledge, you gain wisdom, you become a better man, and then you come and teach your people. What's so bad about that? The Lord is saying, look, better your life, and I'm gonna give you salvation for that. Why?
You win.
Win. You know, you learn how to move, and now with the calamities coming, we built rapport with the Lord. We built a relationship with Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. We know how to pray, how to call upon the Lord when we're in need. So when that time comes and there's famines out here, right, we're not going to be, you know, losing our minds because we've been through situations where the Lord has delivered us. You know, we know what name to call upon, how to call upon the Lord, what to do. You know, we know all these things. So when that time comes, there's not going to be something new. But for a lot of these people, you're going to call upon, trying to find the name of the Lord. Lord's going to hear a certain sound. Who the fuck is this nigga calling me? You know, oh, you must have missed one. Yo, get his ass. You know?
It's like a screeching sound on the
Right,
board.
chalkboard,
Yeah, like the Lord's going to be like, oh, yo, hey.
Yeah, shut him up, shut him up.
Like,
Shut him
that
up.
shit down, bro.
Because it says the prayer of the wicked is an abomination.
It's the Lord, yeah.
You're going to piss the Lord off calling his name.
Yep.
You're going to hear us calling his name.
Yep.
Good things are going to happen.
Yep.
Then you're going to try it and get struck by lightning.
Part.
Yeah.
You're too filthy to call upon the name of the Lord. You don't have, what is that? You have uncircumcised lips, like Moses said.
Yeah.
You know, uncircumcised lips.
Yeah, because we're not perfect. But you know what? It's like right, and it's like when you know somebody ain't perfect, but you start opening up to them because you get more familiar with them. You know, you start like an ugly chick, right? Maybe the chick ain't ugly, but she ain't gonna be your first pick.
Right.
But over time,
She kind of grow on you.
there you go. So you start to tolerate it to the point where she don't look so bad no more. You'll deal with her.
Right.
Now, if another chick comes, she's straight ugly, you ain't got no time to let her grow on you. She try to throw herself on you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bitch, you slap her ass into the air, you get offended. So that's all it is. See, we're not perfect, but we're doing the work of the Lord, right? So the Lord is starting, you know what? They were in the world, but I'm dealing with them, you know? So they're a filthy rag, but you know what? They're a filthy rag that I know, that I might just use. But you a filthy rag and a piece of shit inside that.
The Lord discriminates. So
Oh, yeah.
And look, these prophecies are literal, man. I was saying that earlier in the stream I did. These churches teach like these prophecies are figurative. Like, oh, we're saved. Like I said, you're saved and you're going straight to... Nah, bro, there's going to be salvation. There's going to be a literal time where you're going to see people literally getting beamed. You're going to watch it. You're going to see it. You're going to see missiles coming down on America. America being destroyed. Everything we said is going to happen in the scriptures is going to happen and you're going to live it, man. Jacob's trouble is not a figure of speech. Like, oh, there's going to be a time of trouble that we've never seen before, the 7-year tribulation, and we're going to be saved. Like, get the fuck out, bro. The blood of Christ has saved you. So the blood literally came and saved you?
Right.
Like, they say all this weird ass shit that don't make no sense, and people believe it.
Right.
Oh, you're saved. You don't have to worry about nothing.
Where you saved from?
Exactly. There's going to be literal troubles that you need to be saved from, man. Just like the times that we're living in now. The families that's coming is not figurative. When you ain't got no food to eat and you're thinking about your kids and you look at how skinny they get, and the kids are complaining to you and you're a helpless father, you got nothing to do, and your wife is looking at you like you're a piece of shit, you weak. Huh?
You think they're gonna stand there and say, I ain't gonna take the Quran with them? You think a dude's gonna go through all that and stay out, and his wife and kids leave him, right? And he's still there and he says, nah, I ain't gonna take the Quran. What man, that's why it's gonna take the Spirit of the Lord to do that. These people broke. I said this before. These people broke over their jobs, over movie theaters. You know, and they ran quick. And these are the same people that said, I ain't going to do it. So why should we believe you if you say I ain't going to take the Quran? Nah, that's different. That's different. Yo, they're going to ask you this one, they're actually going to put something inside. Nigga, motherfucker, what did they just do to you?
Yeah, they're piece of snakes. This time it's not, oh, you can't go to work. This time you're staring at a guillotine right in the face. Are you gonna say, "Oh, nah, I'm not gonna take it"?
Niggas love their life, boy. They love their life, man.
Hey, the Lord said, "He that loveth his life shall what? Shall lose it.
Yeah.
And he that loseth his life for my name's sake shall what? Shall save it."
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? We are the ones who are standing between the new world order, the Most High, and the destruction that's coming. We are the ones who are between them. Once the Lord says, okay, it's done, and the men, you don't see us no more, destruction is coming, man. We are the ones who are standing between the destruction and from the Lord and you people, man. So you should be grateful. You should be like, yo, I'm thankful that you guys are still there, but we're not going to be here for long. We're not going to be here for long. So you better get your shit. You better get it quick, man.
All right. Real quick, shout them out. That's something that you bring up to something.
So 2 points actually. Go back to the 1 point you made about how the Lord is dealing with us. Like we're like filthy rag. Now there's that saying, oh, reliable. You know, it's not the best, but it's like I can always rely on this. Like I always count it. You're like even though you may have something that's like souped up, you know, like I play video games. Like there's a certain gun in the game. One game I play called Warframe. It's one gun called a Soma.
Oh,
now
yeah,
it's not the best gun in the world, but there's
Y'all
something
done.
about it. It's just like
Yeah.
there's other guns that does more damage, but you're like just balanced and perfect. It's just you're just all reliable. I can always rely on you to just do what I need you to do.
Get the job done.
Then the other point that you just mentioned, where other people are gonna take the you know, the little small thing.
Right.
I did a video a couple of days ago going on to what's your why, and when I went to that video going into how what's gonna separate, you know, an elect person from a non-elect person is basically the elect person is gonna sit there and say, look, I understand what I'm, you know, dying for, what I'm walking this, you know, this course for. I understand what I'm a part of. So I understand that there's a reward waiting for me, like Paul speaks about. But in these people who say that they believe in the Lord, believe on Jesus Christ, their Lord didn't tell them about you have to get beheaded or you're going to have to suffer. So they're going to look at it like, well, why do I have to not eat? The Lord didn't say I have to not eat. When we understand, look, the Lord said you have to bear your cross. You're going to have to bear your burden. You're going to have to suffer for my name's sake. Blessed are you when men shall revile you. But in this world, in these churches, where they tell you, oh no, they God is going to give you this. He'll give you this. He'll bless you. All these prosperity things. So with them, it's like, well, my God didn't say that I have to suffer. My God said that I should be blessed, prosperity, life. He never said nothing about death. So I'm going to seek what they think is life. But what did Yahweh say? Those that shall seek to save their life shall lose it. But those that lose their life for my sake and the gospel shall find it.
And that's why the reward of the prophets is going to be so great. You know, because I was mentioning this yesterday about how the Lord commanded Hosea to go and get a harlot. Now, imagine if you were Hosea, right? And there's this fine-ass chick you've been talking to, and you think in your mind, man, I like to deal with this chick. You know what I'm saying? I'm planning to go talk to our pops. Then the Lord says, no. I want your ass to go marry Cardi B. Now, mind you, you done just seen a sex tape with Cardi B like last week. And then the next day you saw another nigga running all, and everybody knows, yo, Cardi, her shit is crazy. I'm a regular customer. She hearing all this shit, and the Lord is like, you gotta marry her. No, don't go pop, marry, have kids, live with the chick. You sitting there like, oh Lord, hey, oh Lord God, Lord God. But you gotta do it, right? And you don't just have, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I met the chick, right? And then 2 weeks later I'm done with what the Lord said. No. You gotta meet the chick, you gotta marry her, you gotta have kids with her, then she leaves your ass. To go back to what she was doing. And remember, when you with a harlot, everybody knows. You're like, yo, who's here? Harlot? What the fuck is going on here? Bro, you know what she done in the past. Yeah, listen, nigga. I'm sorry, you know what's going on. So the lives of the prophets were hard, man. But that's why the reward is going to be great. Go ahead.
Second Peter chapter 1 verse 20. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any interpretation.
Private interpretation.
For the prophecy came not in...
Read it again.
Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation.
Right.
So there's no private interpretation of the scriptures, man. So you can't go based on how you feel or what you think it should be there.
Tell it as it is.
Read it for what it is, go into it, study. That's why the scriptures say, study to show thyself approved unto the Most High. Vocab don't do that. And the rest who follow him, these people in the church, they don't do that. That's why they don't have understanding of the scriptures, man. Because if you were to study, you arrive at the same answer we do. Because that's what it is. It's called the truth.
Well, that's why the prophets set up, because the Lord knows that for hard truth like that, if you don't have men that no matter what, they're going to tell you, no, nigga,
That's what it
this
is.
is what it is.
They're going to change
People,
it.
exactly, they're going to change it. They're going to say,
things.
they're going to say, we don't want to, nah, that's too hard.
Right.
It's talking about grabbing up a woman, this is what you got to, we're going to come and tell you, no, objectively, this is what it means.
Right.
That's why the Lord you need to have these kind of men there.
And they're going to say, so you mean God says that a woman on her period can't be around anyone for 7 days?
Now, you know what I don't understand? I don't understand why these women think it's okay to get mad at you when you say, look, I can't be around you like that.
Yeah.
Oh, because I'm on my... Yes, that's exactly the
That's
reason.
what
You fucking dirty, filthy ass bitch, I'm on.
They don't understand the concept of that because Esau makes it okay, all right, to blend in the wickedness, the filth, that they don't see anything wrong with it. Like, yo, do you understand that a woman goes through a purification after birth? How many women today do that shit now? You don't.
That's how you don't love them.
Exactly. Oh, you don't love me, or what you think? Oh, I'm not good enough.
I'm not perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Close to me.
It's a purification process, man. Days.
40 days.
Was it 40 days?
female?
Yeah, 40 days, I think, or 50 days, I think, if I'm not mistaken. All right? And then I think it's double for
No,
a
it's,
female.
I think it's 40 days for a male.
For a male, 80 for a female.
yeah.
Yeah, it's double for a female.
Now 80 days, that's over a month. That's over a year. You go tell her, you want to find out if a chick is in the truth? Tell her, look, baby, if you have my baby, I can't, you going clean for 80 days. Right? It's some ways I got, you know what I'm saying? You can't, there's a certain way I got to deal with you. See what she's going to tell you.
80 days, that's what, like 2 months and a
That's a change, yeah. Damn, that's a long ass time.
Continuing, verse 21. For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but holy men of Yahweh spake as they were moved by the Holy Spirit.
So you hear that? The prophecy, which were the things that are going to happen, right? They didn't come by the will of man. See, if it came by the will of man, these prophets would understand exactly what they saw. Because, and they wouldn't have needed to be given visions, right? People think prophecies are predictions. What if it doesn't happen that way? There's no such thing. To do it, people didn't just get up and say, I think I'm John, and I think that in 2,000 years from now, in the future, they're gonna come out with this thing based on what I'm seeing now. Because these prophecies, the technology they had back then wasn't even remotely close to this. That's why the prophets didn't know what they saw. He's seeing, he's talking about a fiery flying serpent. He's like, I'm just seeing this joint. It looks like a snake, a flying snake on fire, right? I've never seen nothing like that before. How do we get up and one day somebody just got up and thought about the perfect way that everything has to be? When they say man wrote the Bible, you actually have people that think there was one old man somewhere who got up and just wrote all, like the book Eli.
What's Nostradamus? Yeah, that was.
He just got up and he just said, thou shalt not do this. And you know why they think that? Because they never actually read the Bible. There you go. If you read it, and you see how intricate it is, no man gets up one day and just says, and plus there's history in the Bible.
Right.
So what man was alive all the way from Adam's time, all the way up until John's time, and he just wrote all this right here?
Exactly. And I got a quick precept to back up the point. All right, that this is not of any private interpretation, but what? Finish that real quick. You can bring that back. You know that the scripture was not given by it's not given by any private interpretation. Okay, it's given to men through the Spirit of the Most High. Okay, the brother's gonna bring that back real quick. All right, and then I'll get a quick precept to back that up. All right, because you mentioned the word predict, and that's pretty much the same word as prophecy. Pre means before, and then dict go into diction, meaning the way what you say. You know, you dictate something. You verbalize, all right, your words or whatever it is.
Right.
Okay, before it happens. That's what it means to predict or to prophesy.
Right.
Okay. So the men of the Lord don't just prophesy. You can't prophesy something that you don't know. You know, you have to
say something.
Right. You can't.
It's not gonna be a
That's not
prophecy,
prophecy.
it's not gonna come to pass.
Yeah, because it's by chance.
Right.
And the prophecies are not. They don't happen by chance. They happen at its appointed time. Okay. You just have to know it. That's all.
Okay.
Verse 21. 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 21. For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but holy men of Yahweh spoke as they were moved by the Holy Spirit.
Holy men.
Right.
Holy men. And it was through the Spirit that moved them. And I'll get a quick precept here. There's a book of 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 1. It says, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth,
There you go.
saith the Lord.
That's it.
Right? It says, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
So, but you know what? That's like, say, you read an article that was written by journalists who went, maybe they were interviewing the president of a country, right? And the president told, Mr. President, what do you want to do the next 5 years? Oh, well, we're going to do this, blame Putin, the gas prices, okay, that's good, fuck America, right? And then the journalist writes it down, and then he publishes it. Are you going to come out and say, well, I don't believe what's in there because a man wrote it? Right. Technically, a man wrote it. But the words didn't come from that man, it came from the source. So just because the words are written, motherfucker, what did you read that didn't come from a book? Right. You know what I'm saying? If you read something on the internet, did not people go up there and type it? You know, everything you read comes from man. Because the Most High didn't come down and say, I'm gonna teach you the alphabet and I'm gonna write all this here. Everything is documented by men.
You have to have a transport. You gotta have some type of communicative measure. Like, how does the Lord communicate with humans?
Right.
He speaks a completely different language than what we speak now. So he has to put the spirit of understanding. Right? That was good right there. Let me slow down a little bit so we don't make too much noise. You know? But he puts the spirit on certain men to what? Interpret. That's why you have dreams. You got Daniel was interpreting the dreams, Joseph, you know? And they always said what? It wasn't of me. It was the Heavenly Father who gave me the understanding of this thing, man.
Absolutely.
What? You want to say something?
Now, I was gonna add a quick little thing. The key word there is holy. There was holy men. And holy goes into separate.
Right.
So it wasn't just any man that was writing the books. It was holy men that were chosen by the Most High.
Right.
He picked those men that he wanted to put that spirit on to be able to prophesy. And if you go back to Genesis and Adam, they were put into trance-like states or brought into the spirit to be able to be communicated with.
Right.
So it wasn't like he was just a random guy just writing one day and thought of all of these things out of their own mind.
Right.
It was given to them.
Yeah, you notice that when you read in the scriptures, it's not every time that you'll see a prophet. There's times when you go a period of time before a prophet comes on the scene. Because prophets are not, you don't train somebody to be a prophet. It's a spirit. It's like prophets are, it's like gold.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't make gold necessarily. You know, you find it. You know what I'm saying? You utilize it. So prophets, there are only a certain number of prophets. Let me put it like that. That's what makes a prophet so rare. Yeah, because they're only the Lord created only a certain amount of spirits to be prophets. And at different times, at different times he would send them here. If he ain't send a prophet, exactly. But if a prophet is on the earth, he's a prophet. Now the Lord that's why I said the Spirit moved them, because we were prophets in the world. But if the Lord, and we were holy men because we were made differently, but the Spirit of the Lord had to move us before we could end up here.
Also, the scripture, it clearly says, not by the will of men.
Right.
So that goes to show you that we have no say, no power, no control over even the things that the Lord puts the Spirit on the prophets to speak.
Right.
So they have no will over what's coming, over pretty much their own spirit. Right? The Most High is the owner of our spirits.
Right.
Yeah, this is Jeremiah 30:1. The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, thus speaking the Lord God of Israel.
The word that came to Jeremiah, saying what?
Thus speaking the Lord God of Israel, saying,
Thus speaketh the Lord God of Israel. So the Lord is the one who's speaking through Jeremiah, not the Lord directly to man, because you can't deal with the voice of the Lord. You can't fathom what the Lord is going to say. That's why Yahushua had to speak to Paul. Messengers. Right. He had to speak to Paul, man. The Lord sends angels. You know, he doesn't do things on it. He's the king of the universe. Why the hell do you ever see a king? What king do you know goes around doing his own biddings? Right. He got servants, man. Right. You know, and for the Lord, he got servants for everything. He got warriors, he got this, he got that, but then he got those who speak. Yeah, he got those who speak for him. So he said, okay, well, you know what? I'm about to do something in the next 70 years. Okay, well, I'm going to send a prophet down now, so that when the time comes, he's going to start giving that warning before that time comes around.
Like Jonah. Because the Lord got messengers in the spirit world, but he also got messengers on the earth.
There you go.
There's certain specific vessels he got on the earth. So it's like cameras.
Yep.
Like you can tap into a camera on this side that you've planted.
Yep.
Right? So let me see what's going on over there. Show me that camera. So the Lord is like, look, these niggas in the northern kingdom, they going off. Look, send a prophet, either raise up a prophet in there, or send a prophet. And the Lord might say, all right, I'm going to need this guy to prophesy to them in 30 years. Send him on the earth now. There's a prophet here already. I want specific. And the Lord is specific. He says, I want Hosea, and Hosea's not born yet. He's going to tell yo, well, I need him to be there in 30 years. So, send Hosea's spirit down. Yep. So that means that there's going to be a woman and a man or a woman somewhere. They're going to pop the Lord, and when they pop, that's like an opening for a spirit to come down. Because once you create that body needs a spirit. So then the Lord says, all right, send Hosea in there. You know? and make it convenient enough to where he grows up at this age, he's going to be the Lord. If the Most High knows every strand of hair on each and every person's hair, right? You look, if you grab some, maybe you
cut
chick was
hair.
acting up, right?
You cut hair.
Yeah, that's an example. Yeah. I was gonna go with the extreme one, right? Chick acting up, and you know what I'm saying? You grab her hair, you find out it's fake. So when she runs and this shit comes off, now if you grab the handful of it as she's struggling to grow it, now she got a fucking 2 patches right here and shit, right? So if you grab the handful of hair, you couldn't even count half the strands on it. It's like trying to count sand. Right? So like you said, when they cut your hair at a barbershop, or you get a fresh cut, and you notice when you brush it, it's mad. How the hell are you gonna count all of that? And that's for you. And that's just like one brush. And the Most High says he knows the number. Man, he said he number infinity.
He could count the drops of rain.
Right.
As it's for.
Call back yesterday.
Call back yesterday.
Yeah,
Like,
you stop at that point, bro. Precept.
Jeremiah 1 and 5.
Oh, damn, bro.
That's the spirit.
hey, we can bring it out twice. That's it. Bring it out.
Jeremiah 1 and 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
So you know what? You know what I just perceived? The Most High is like, look,
Bring that out.
yeah, I want that out. You know,
I'm liking this.
yeah, the Most High is listening. You know what I'm saying? Because the scripture said, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am. So the Lord's like, oh, you know, it's a good thing here. Y'all should bring out this precept for that. And that's why both of y'all just had that. You know? Yeah, read that.
Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
Oh, matter of fact, can you look up that word form? Somebody look up that word form. Because it says, before I formed thee in the belly. Now we know what goes on in the belly. You have the sperm and the egg, right? And then you have the zygote, which is like when you look at a newborn baby, it looks like a shrimp. Big ass head and the tail. Humans actually have tails before they grow into legs. What happened?
I got it.
That's it. Let's get into that. What you got?
The Hebrew word is yatazar. Obviously, it says to form, fashion, to frame. One says of divine activity, but one says here to frame, preordain, plan, or figurative purpose of a situation.
Look at that. So the Lord. So when the Spirit enters the womb, there's a mission.
So one more. To be predetermined, to be preordained.
So before I formed you in the belly, so I preordained this baby in this belly. What is it gonna do when it comes out? You know what I mean? That's what the Lord does for each and every one of us. When we were babies, the Lord already determined what is your mission on the earth. What are you gonna do?
Hence you have nomen omen.
That's it. No, exactly. Exactly. He puts the Spirit on your parents to give you a name that's gonna fit what it is that you're gonna do.
Yes.
That's it. Benjamin, Yahushua. That's why the angel specifically said, look, the purpose that this man is gonna do is he's gonna save his people. So call him Yahushua.
That's it.
For he shall save his people. So how do you know what the child is gonna do before they're born? Because they come on the earth with a purpose. Right? That's why the Lord told Daniel, you're gonna come back in your lot. That's why the Lord told John that you must prophesy again. Right? The spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets.
I had that as well next.
So what does a prophet do? They prophesy. That's why the Lord said, before I what? Read that again.
Before Jeremiah 1 and 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
So before the Lord had already preordained what Jeremiah was going to do in the belly, he knew it. So how did the Lord know Jeremiah before he was in the belly? Because he was in the sperm world. Right? So the Lord knew, the Lord knows this is good God, because you really are your spirit. You're not your body, you really are your spirit. Who you truly are is your spirit. So the Lord knew that the actual spirit of Jeremiah, and he said he's going to be the perfect one for this role. And Jeremiah was doing the work of the Lord since he was a kid, a boy. And when you read the ending of Jeremiah, he was an old man. So that's his whole life. You know what I mean? He grew. Hey, the scripture said, wax old and thy work. Yeah, that was Jeremiah.
Samuel,
from literally from birth. You know, 3 years old and whatnot, up until an old man.
Yahushua.
Yeah.
Like Yahushua, that was his job.
Yeah.
He was only here for 33 years. That's crazy, right? Like, oh man.
So it shows you that what? Like I said, before I formed thee in the belly. So whenever a baby was born, that's why you may say, well, how come like Samuel's sons, they weren't right.
Right.
You know, but you say Samuel was a great man of the Lord because the spirits that are in there had a mission. The Lord said, look, you're going to be like this and you're going to be like this. All right?
Aaron had 4 sons, 2 were righteous and 2 were wicked.
That's right.
What about that?
That's right.
Also, a point on that. That goes to show you how much people hate the Most High. Because right now, people are arguing over about, women are arguing about keeping their own children.
Right. Right.
Like, this is crazy. And that goes to show you that they hate the Most High. That also goes to show you that it's not your body, your choice. The Most High said before, I formed thee.
Right.
That means it's not even the will of the woman to have that baby. It's the Most High's will.
Right.
And he's the one putting that spirit on. Scientists can't even explain when the baby becomes an animate, living thing. They still can't explain that.
Right.
And that's because it's for the Most High to know.
Right.
He said, I formed thee in the belly. Not the woman, not when you got sex, when you had sex with her. No. When I formed thee in the belly, period.
Because you notice, woman can be barren.
Yeah.
Right? And who determines that? The Most High. So you might get a pregnancy scare, right? And that's because the Most High, you may think, because you're thinking it's a
it's
a
like,
pop, a
damn,
release,
that's his
she's going to have a baby. The Most High says, no. She's not going to have a baby. I'll control what goes on in there. You know what I'm saying? And then that's why they be certain women, they pop, but they don't have babies.
Right.
So what's going on? If it was her body or choice, why is she having a baby? Because the Most High says, no, bitch, it's my choice. It's your body, my choice.
Have you ever seen, that's why you gotta go back to nature. Simplify life, man. Esau likes to make things all crazy and shit. Like, what soil have you ever been to that says, oh no, that's my soil, my choice. You can't plant the seed in me now. No. The husbandman comes in, he clears the land, he said, nah, I'm gonna use this right here, fertilize it, do all this, and then boom, plant the seed in there, and then you know, take care of it, cultivate, and then do what I gotta do. You never have no soil that's ever gonna buck up against a seed or the husbandman. So it's the same thing. That's how ridiculous it is when you hear a woman talking shit like, oh, that's my body, my choice. What do you mean your body, your choice? If your parents had the same ideology and they said, no, we're going to abort this kid, you nasty thing, what do you want to say then? You have the ability to wake up and grow up and become a person and say, oh, my body, my choice. That goes to show you the ideologies of America is all evil, man. Everything that's America is built on is based on wickedness, man. It's a seed of evildoers, okay? And hey, in the kingdom, guess what's going to happen? One of us is going to create billions of children. Not just one brother, another brother. We're going to have mad kids. You have one seed, one tree. Look at the tree. You got branches, you know? That's a family line right there, branches. And you got the leaves. And then with the leaves, you're going to have what? Fruits on that, you know? And then one fruit is going to bear mad seeds. Yo, we're going to populate the whole entire scripture. The Lord said the first commandment to man and to all creation was what? Be fruitful and multiply. Esau says, no, depopulate. And depopulate, man. That's wicked, man. That's what the Lord's going to destroy this place with fire, man. He's going to cook this place with an unforgettable cook. All right, I always say that because it's true. Okay? You got that? Yeah. All right, hold off on that, finish that, and then we'll get this.
And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee.
Boom. So he made you separate. So all the prophets of the Lord, all right, all the prophets of the Lord, before we came on the earth, we were already ordained to be prophets. At a certain time in life, the Lord is going to wake you up to who you are, and you're going to go do the work. That's why we don't get surprised when we hear Apostle Tahar say, I've been doing this for 30 plus years, because that's his job. He wasn't going to be a carpenter. He wasn't going to be a lawyer. He wasn't going to be a doctor. He was meant to be a prophet.
Well, he started doing boxing. Why did the Lord have him? Well, didn't we all have things we used to do in the world?
All of us.
And how is it that you may have been really good at it, or you may have not, or you may have been working towards it, but you ended up here? Which one of us knew when we were born? Yeah, I'm going to highways and byways.
It's not something you say. It's not because it's not of you.
Right.
You know, nobody ever woke up. Oh, when I wake up, I want to be a prophet. I want to be a prophet of the Lord. I want to be a pastor. I want to be a preacher. No. You see, you think of other things. That being a prophet is the least of the things you think about.
Yep.
But then that's the one thing that you become, and that's the thing that's like, yo, that's the number one thing. Because we all have a profession. We all have a lot to play.
Yep.
LeBron will never be a prophet because he was never made to be a prophet. I'll never be LeBron James or never be on his level ever. That's never what I was created to do.
And you wouldn't be good at it.
I'll never. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know,
because your spirit is not made to do that.
There you go.
You know? Yeah.
I think that's all that. One more. I think that's that.
Also a point on that. These abortions, y'all may not be aware, but there's a spiritual thing going on. Y'all are actually making sacrifices.
That's it.
But they right now, the way society is set up, they don't got the they idols and people throwing their babies in the furnace.
Right.
They found another way to do it, and that's through those abortions.
No,
You don't-
no, go ahead.
And you don't even know what's going on and what they're doing with those aborted fetuses.
Right.
And it goes way deeper.
Right.
Some of y'all might be eating those babies.
Oh yeah.
It goes about not just necrophilia, but necromancy, where they deal with that body. And now there was a video of Planned Parenthood. You had some dude. I think he was like he wasn't really serious, but he was just trying to get the evidence of what they actually do.
Right.
So he called in for Edomite voice. You know about me, I'd like to make a donation, and I can specify it goes to a black baby, right?
Yeah, I remember this. Yep.
And then she says, and then this how you know he got him, because she said, yeah, it can go specifically to who you want it for, and she tried to use the technical term.
Right.
So he said, yeah, because it's too many black babies on the earth. We gotta start getting rid of some of these black babies.
Yeah.
She said, yeah, I understand. I
Yep.
understand
Yep.
completely.
Yep.
And then you had one of them, she's like, yeah, whatever. He's like, yeah, because I don't really like these black babies. I want to start getting rid of some of them. She said, hey, if that's where she said, we'll accept any kind of donation you'll give us, and we'll use it to whatever you want it to be targeted to. So they take the money and they target it towards these ignorant, dumb black creatures that come there and say, oh, I spread my legs too wide, I need an abortion now. Oh, don't worry, we got a donor that can definitely take care of it for you.
Continuing on. And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
Go. Ordain thee unto a prophet unto the nations. Why? Because you got our people scattered throughout the whole entire world. All these other nations got Israelites in there. Who's going to warn them? The Lord got to set prophets to warn them. Right? That's why you got brothers in different parts of the world speaking different languages. But ultimately, guess what? YouTube is able to translate what we're saying onto different people in different parts of the world.
So they got the transcript.
The transcript? Yeah, exactly.
Hey, so can a prophet say he doesn't want to be a prophet? No. Look at Jonah. Yeah. Because the Lord said, I ordained you.
Yeah.
And what the Lord has ordained, his words don't come back void. You're going to do it whether you like it or not.
That's it. Hey, even Yahushua, before he went on the cross, he thought about it. He said, Lord, and if it was possible, let this cup pass over me.
Right.
And he's Yahushua, man. So your lot is your lot. You can't escape that. You cannot escape that, man. Look at Job. Look what he went through. That was what he had to play. That was the role he had to play. Right. Moses. When Moses was, the Lord said, yo, you're going to go back to Egypt. Right. He was like, he's looking for all the excuses in the world. Yep. And the Lord said, look, when I choose you, I've chosen you. If it's time, when it's time to go, and I say it's go time, bro. You just got to get up and go. That's it. But I think Shalom has something to say.
Oh, no, this is just a precept to what you mentioned earlier. This is Isaiah chapter 60, verse 22. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord, will hasten it in his time.
There you go. So I was going back to that point I was making about the trees, man. That one seed, one brother, all right, it's going to be one tree, all right, in the kingdom. But guess what? Look at the branches that comes off of that. Look at the leaves that come off of that. The branches, the family, the sons that you're going to have.
Yeah, you know how you got like one tree that bears one fruit, and in the fruit you have so much seeds. Like not just one, you have multiple seeds.
Oranges,
passion fruit.
Passion fruit.
See how many seeds are in that?
Yeah.
And you only need one of those seeds to get a whole nother tree,
Yep.
which cannot. So now on a tree you got more than one fruit.
Yep.
You can have hundreds of fruit,
Yep.
and in every one of those fruit you got hundreds of seeds.
Yep.
So I mean, it's a beautiful thing to actually. The scripture, the Lord promotes life. The Lord is not he's a God of the living.
Yep.
He's not for that anti-life spirit that they push over here. So a lot of you women that are getting into that, the Most High is going to deal with you.
The Lord deal with abundance.
Right.
You know what I mean? Esau's a God of scarcity. When you check Esau out, he everything is scarce, but the Lord, he deals with abundance. When you check him out, he's a God of an abundance. See, and that's really a ruling class mentality when you deal with abundance. But when you deal with scarcity, say if you got like some nice shoes and somebody step on them, but that's your only pair of nice shoes, you probably want to hurt that person. You probably get violent. You probably get like very upset what that person did, because you in a scarcity mind state. But when you deal with abundance, You like, oh, fuck them shoes. Yeah, they're a nice pair of shoes. I'll wipe them off. I got another pair. I didn't just buy, since they're a nice pair of shoes, I bought 3 of them.
Right.
All the same color. I got, that's what Jake do when they go in the sneaker store. They buy, I like these Jordans. They be like, give me 3 of these color and give me 1 of every color. You know what I mean? And so that's what abundance mind state that the Lord deal with. And that's how you know it's other planets. That's how you know, because dealing with an abundance mind state like that, you're not gonna, and the Lord don't believe in bunching everybody together. So with the mind state of people gonna have space and the mind state of an abundance, dealing with, that's why he said what? Be fruitful and multiply. I mean, because once the earth gets filled up, there's other planets, there's other solar systems, there's other galaxies, because the Lord is a God of abundance. Esau, he's the devil, he deal with what scarcity. That's why he want to depopulate the earth. He want to uphold all the resources, it scarce this and that. First of all, he misused the resources. You know what I mean, on the left-handed side. And he do a bunch of wickedness. So that's why he want to abhor everything to himself and keep it on a scarcity tip. But the Lord, he deal with abundance. So we gonna have plenty of children. Everything is his first commandment on his 10 stones on the Georgia Guidestones is what? To depopulate the earth. That's what this gender war shit is about. Man versus woman, woman versus man. My shorty niece, she's a fucking 21-year-old virgin, and she don't want to have children. She got a fucking dog. She got a fucking miniature poodle, and that's kind of like they call them fur babies and shit. But where that mentality come from Esau, like where the youthful, the young Gen Zs now, they not even into wanting children or want to have children. And they got this gender war going on, man versus woman, woman versus man. But a woman is not a man's competition, and a man is not a woman's competition. They complement one another. You know what I'm saying? They go together with one another in harmony. But now it's just this whole gender thing because Esau, because he's trying to push depopulation. He want to depopulate the earth. Ultimately, the Lord's going to do it. He want to depopulate the earth through different things, abortions and all this shit he got out here. See, if you could do it for him, the less he got to do at the end. So he pushing all this bullshit out here to help bring that number down. But ultimately, that's going to be the Lord glory to bring the earth number to a low and give it to the meek shall inherit the earth.
Yeah, the scriptures say that Israel's as the sand in the sea. So, and you have something called a Kissinger depopulation policy, where they actually tell other countries, look, we're not going to fund you, we're not going to support you in no way, shape, or form if you don't push birth control. You need higher death rates and lower birth rates. And that's what they do. That's why they push out all of these commercials, advertisements, all of these things, contraceptives. You know, you ever notice how in school they always handing out, when you go to the nurse's office, they always handing out condoms and all of these things. It's so easy to get Plan B and birth control and all of these things. They've actually thought about a way to put some thing inside of you to make sure that you can't have kids. Why are they going so hard for that? But you can't invent ways to deal with diseases and famines and these things because they actually have that. And then they tell the nation, look, if you still don't want to follow our policy, we're going to create civil wars inside your country, and then we're going to come in there and use that as a reason to kill off people in there.
Yeah, and they said, what's the word, contraceptive?
Contraceptives, yeah.
Contraceptives, dealing with, they got like 31 types. Now they're trying to work on a 32nd type, which is for men. They're trying to get birth control for men, but they don't know how effective it's going to be. But even if Esau comes out with that, like you women going to be in trouble, and Esau probably already had it, but it was to trap men. Because this thing pushed the woman and destroyed the men, this Queen of Heaven spirit. Because if men was on birth control, the only real way, there's 2 ways to really get a man is through his baby or through marriage. And a lot of men is not married, so now what they try to get, on a baby. So imagine, a mother know her son is out there fucking and she's slipping like birth control into his food. And he come home like, Ma, I got a girl pregnant. She like, no, you didn't. You know what I'm saying? And that's really gonna that's gonna screw you women on the back end, because child support and all them goodies you get, welfare is very hard to get welfare and public assistance without children. You know what I'm saying? When you have children, you get the apartment, you get all the kind of, you get more of the goodies, so to say. When you have a child and you just showing up as a single woman saying, I want my own apartment, this and that. You know what I'm saying? They want you to throw the male on the hook for that. But they was breaking out that in the 60s when birth control was first created, that was more dangerous than an atomic bomb.
Wow.
Because now the thing with women was they couldn't afford to be promiscuous without having the risk of a pregnancy. See, if a woman go around, they was forced to not be whores because that was a shame. Now, once a woman knew they could fuck and have sex without the threat of a pregnancy, that changed the whole game.
Right.
That's why they said birth control was the more wickeder creation, the thing that hit the earth more than an atomic bomb was.
Wow.
Because that changed the whole game. Because now women knew, like, oh, because it was always a thought, like, oh, I'm going to get pregnant. People going to look, I didn't know who the father was, because DNA wasn't relevant, but you doing DNA tests and all that. So women always had the fear of, like, oh, we had sex, I'm going to get pregnant. If I get pregnant, that kept them, the threat of pregnancy kept them in line from being whores. Even though you still had whores around, but that threat of pregnancy was always there. So once they finally got the freedom, like, oh, what? I could fucking not get pregnant and just go about like men and just have sex and don't have to deal with the consequences of being knocked up or knowing who the man is. Then abortions came and all of that. That just liberated them, but it destroyed them in the same sense.
That's right. Right. Suicide. Yep. Okay.
Everything is pretty much coming to a close, like the prophet Ezra was talking about. At his time, he wanted all the spirits to be there at that time and receive that judgment. But if we're at a point in time where basically you don't even need a contraceptive, women and men just don't want to have children at this point. That goes to show you that it's coming to a close. All those spirits that Ezra wished were there at that time are probably here today. And, you know, the Most High is about to close the curtains on all the spirits. Man. The judgment is about to come.
Because even in America alone, we got over 300 million people. And I was doing some research. I believe the Roman Empire had, less than 5 million people. So imagine that. All the empires back then, they didn't have as many people as just America alone. You know, now you got China got over 5 billion people. India got over 1 billion. Like, it's crazy. There's a lot of spirits. Why is that? Because a lot of them, if you notice, America has really the most population of diversity. Like, you go to India, you might have 1 billion people in India, but it's mostly Indians. You go to China, it's mostly Moabites. But America is over 300 million people of different types of people from different nations. Every nation on the earth you're going to find in America over here. Why is that? Because the Lord said, no, this is the place where I'm going to destroy. So I'm going to bring you got all these so-called migrants coming over here. Those are jakes. A lot of them are 2/3 and some of them are the elect. And they're being brought over here for 2 things, destruction and deliverance. So America is really going to be that land, like the apostle always says, the threshing floor, exactly. Where he's going to come and do that threshing.
Yeah, because you bring in the harvest to the threshing floor.
There you go. There you go. So that's why it's called the melting pot. Okay, the Lord is really going to melt America like a pot, man. You know, he's going to mix you all in there. He's going to cook you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to put the seasonings and all that.
And that's
shit,
what
man.
we're doing. We out here, you know, pronouncing the judgment, but we preparing it. And all that's going to be left is the fire that's to come.
That's it.
You know, so we setting up the altar. You know, we putting the different, cutting up the meats, exposing the bitch. You know, and we slap her on there, and the Lord is going to put like Elijah. Call it on fire from heaven. And the Lord is going to consume the altar, the rocks, the stones, everything. What kind of fire consumes stones? Like, how hot that got to be? Water. You know, water. It says it liquid. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Most High isn't playing, you know? And he said, and it's going to be crazy because with all that fire, and yet it's going to take out North America. Because he said he's going to sweep it with the besom of destruction. But all that fire, it won't spill off, you know what I'm saying? But it shows you the power of the Lord because his target is this place. And that's why in Joel it says that the missiles are not going to break their ranks. And they're not going to miss their targets. Because the Most High Spirit is going to guide them.
So he shall leave them what neither root nor branch. So everything is going to be decimated, man. That's what we're telling you. That's the reality. And people who are in the spirit of understanding that fear, when they hear that, they can see that. You tell people that this was going to happen, they can actually see that. They'll be like, yo, I could see America here, I could see
So that was like us when we heard it.
When we heard it, we were like, oh shit. Like, and then you just get kicked into the spirit and you just start moving from there.
They can see it more now with Russia being in the play, you know, because people talk about, what's going on with the Ukraine, and it's still, an ongoing thing. And a lot of people, they feel as though, what's going on with, you ask the average airhead, you be like, what if Biden get involved? They'll tell you like,
Right.
In their mind, they see the destruction, they'll be like, that's not going to be good, man. I had this homo tell me, he was like, he was like, man, if, I play dumb, I talk to them, on a gig or whatever, yeah, man, because, I pick their brain. So what you think's going on with the Ukraine? They give they take or whatever. Sometimes I do that to prevent them talking about homo shit. So I spark a conversation of my own. Like, yeah, hey man, so what? So I wound up saying, is, I was like, so. He was like, man, Putin's, this and that. I'm like, so what happened? What you think happened if Biden got involved directly? Like the West his eyes just got big as hell. He was like. He was like, man, that wouldn't be good at hell. The world would see the most terriblest war that it has ever seen. Yeah. So people know, from them two superpowers and they two proud ass Edomites that's going once the horns lock, that's it.
It's over. And it's building to that, man. What's that? I think the elder posted in the chat that Russia is testing a missile that could, by the fall of this year, it could hit America, man. It could hit America.
Now, why are they doing that?
They're testing it. It's not that they don't have it. They have it. They're just testing it now.
Now, interesting thing about tests, right? When you build a car, you don't test it on water. You test it on land.
That's it.
Why is that? Because you built the car to drive on land. So when you test something, you test it according to why it was made. When you make food, right? You don't make food so you can go throw it out. You test how well it fits into the garbage can. That's that stupid ass meme they're doing nowadays talking about don't let them know your next move. Right? Somebody puts toothpaste on a toothbrush that brushes the side of his face. Basically, don't let him know what you're gonna do next. You know what I'm saying? The guy goes and turns on his car, then he runs in front of the car. You know what I'm saying? It's literally stupidity. But if they're testing a missile that can hit America, then what do you think the missile was made for? If it can hit America, that means that the test passed, right?
That's it.
So if the test passed, that means that now we know that the reason we made it, it can fulfill that reasoning. So now ask yourself, why are they talking about testing missiles that can hit America? And you dumbasses that are living on American soil are the least people concerned. But you know what? That's good because when you want to trap somebody or something somewhere, you don't want to startle them. You want to keep it as off guard as possible, like the boiling frog. You want to keep it as off guard as possible before you got you, nigga. Like you sneak up slowly. You know what I'm saying? And then grab that direct. So that's what the Most High is doing to these people. He's not sparking up their yo. What if this actually happened? Yeah. Because then some people gonna say, yo, let me actually get out of America. I was like, no, nigga, I need you here because I'm gonna burn you. So he's like, let them be. That's why it says sudden destruction is going to come upon them. The Lord has kept these people in a blind state until the destruction hits when they can't escape. That's when the Lord's going to lift up that.
Hey, and you notice too, those people who can escape, the Lord has it where they're not escaping.
Yep.
And those who can't escape, the Lord has it where they cannot escape.
Yep.
Now you gotta, in order to leave the country, you gotta get that thing, the visa, right? So those who don't take it, they're hesitant. I can't go nowhere. I'm stuck here, right? And those who can't go, they go back and forth. They come right back in. Like if you leave it, it's like yo, these people are so bro. I'm like yo, if you had a chance to leave America, knowing it's about to be destroyed, why don't you go live on some island somewhere? Go to like Costa Rica, like it's cheaper there. You know, get a woman, start a life and just chill out, and chill out and watch America be destroyed on TV.
Right.
You see, but they don't do that because the Lord is the one who set everything up. Like two things: destruction and salvation, man. Two things, man. That's all that's gonna happen here in America. I got a quick precept. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, and verse 16. It says, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. And that's the testing. All right, blowing the coals in the fire, that's all part of the testing, man. The smith is the ones who's the nuclear physicists, the scientists, and so on and so forth, man. They're the ones who are behind these tests.
Yeah,
Like
because
weapon people who make weapons.
you go.
Like for or deal with metals.
Metals, yep.
Like you got locksmith, you got Smith and Wesson that deal with metal making. Or you got a lock in your car, you call a locksmith. You got Smith and Wesson. So it just deal with like weaponry.
Yeah, because you have shit. What's the name of yeah, there's a special name for the place where the fire is at. I forgot what it's called though. It's a special name for the area where the fire is at where they do that. But in the ancient world, you have the coals, right? Which is what like furnace. The furnace and you got the coals, which is like your firewood, like keeps the fire going. So they blow the smith that, read that again?
Right. Isaiah chapter 54, verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire.
Yeah, because one thing about fire is you gotta blow it. It needs that air that you're giving out to keep it strong, right? So sometimes.
That thing that what you was mentioning?
No. I'm talking about the actual place. It's a certain they called it. But that's a good one right there. So the reason they fan the fire is to keep the flames going or let it burn hotter. And when you're dealing with the smiths, there was that TikTok of that woman talking about how they purify silver and they put the silver in the hottest part of the fire until the guy can see his image in the silver that he knows is purified. Right? So the smith is blowing the coals in the fire, and what's the fire going to be used to do? It's going to be used to what? To perfect whatever he's crafted. You know? So in essence, right now, or for all of these years, these smiths that have been coming up with these nuclear weapons, how do you think they keep coming out with more advanced missiles? Exactly. They test it and they research these things. You know, the technology the Lord has given their minds to grow in learning about these nuclear weapons. So they know now, okay, we had the atomic bomb, but can we do better? You know, now we have this Satan 1, but can we do something faster? Can we do something better? And they're advancing that technology militarily to invent more and more of these weapons.
Then they got the nuclear sub Poseidon.
Yep. Yeah.
They said Poseidon blew up on the East Coast. It'll flood. It'll cause 1,500-foot waves off the coastlines of New York, flooding from 700 miles in from like New York to Chicago.
Yo.
Like if that nuclear sub like blew up like in this like Bay Area right here. And they kind of showed you that in the movie The Day After Tomorrow. It was like a climate type movie where you had a bunch of like tall ass waves flooding the streets of New York. But they said that's how bad that nuclear sub called Poseidon is. So it's not just like nukes to hit land. They got like water nukes that'll cause waves to become a threat to your whole coastal region. And that's goodbye to all your cities. Because all great cities was built around coastal areas. Because that water is real essential to the agriculture and the survival of the land. That's why Miami, New York, LA, Houston, all of them is built around what? Mississippi and all that. All that is built around big, large bodies of water. You know, so that's a major threat too. You know, as far as the water go, not just nukes hitting the land, as far as nukes hitting the water. Then one of them nukes hit the water and blow up real hard, that could rise Leviathan to the top. They always showed you that in the Godzilla movie. It was always a nuke or something that had hit the water, an explosion that had awakened them. You know, to pull them to the top. So man, hey man, it's going down.
That's it. We got this as an alarm clock. Yeah. You know, one of the missiles.
You know, Esau always puts his agendas in the movies and his entertainment. I was playing Call of Duty, and guess what? They got Leviathan in it now.
Oh, shit.
That seems random, right? But throughout, like, the way they were trying to depict how Leviathan came about was basically, I forget if it was Germany or Russia. They were dropping off bombs. These bombs were called nebulas. I just did some etymology research on it, and one of the definitions was a luminous cloud in the heavens. The other ones referred to a gas or cloud-like bomb. So one of these countries were letting off all types of bombs, and it woke up, Leviathan, basically. And at the end of the preview, basically, they said monsters are real. And I'm starting to believe that the reason why all of these nations came together years and years and years ago in Antarctica was because they found that Leviathan is possibly a real creature, which we know from the scriptures it is. But I believe they came together once they found out that there's a lot in this world that they don't know about.
Oh, yeah. Because there's a whole lot more that's unknown and unstudied in the water than on the land. Even on the land, Esau hasn't discovered everything. You know, so in the ocean, man, the Lord has done that on purpose because He wants to show you His real power, man.
Oh, you know, there's actually land underwater that has oxygen. You know, it's crazy. Yeah, there's lands is like huge. Yeah, under the sea. They show you in certain movies where they'll dive deep, and then they'll come up in some cave and there's air there, and they're underwater. And it's crazy how it works because you would think everything underwater is water, but there's air pockets in caves that are underwater. So the Lord can have certain creatures over there. You know? Yeah, look, because when the flood,
I was gonna say, I seen a video like that, and those creatures have no, what is like pigment. They're like clear because they never see sunlight. They're translucent. You can see all of like you can see their blood.
I've seen fishes like that. Yeah.
And it's because they don't have any sunlight.
Yeah. And you can see like the brain. There's certain fishes you can see their brain. You can see through it.
Vibration, the energy, and everything.
Yeah. And so,
that proves the flood.
Exactly.
You can find cities in the water.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So the Lord could have had it to where He could have hidden certain creatures underwater, but these are like land creatures, but they're underwater, and you never think that, you know, because they stay underwater. Yeah,
right. They saw dinosaurs where they at,
and that's why the water's so big. You know, the scriptures say that the land couldn't hold both sea creatures and land creatures. You know. Yeah.
Hey, it's a movie called Journey to the Other End of the Earth. It's more type animated, but it's heavy. Check it out when you get a chance. Journey to the Other Side of the Earth. And basically, they tell you they went in one cave and was trapped. They got, you know how rocks and shit fall to where you can't go back. Oh, right. So they kept pushing through and they wound up, they found like, it's a heavy movie, but it's more on the animated side. It's the same dude that played Encino Man, like the caveman dude. He up in it, but it's on the animated side, you like, okay, like for kids, but through the spirit, you know, the spirit and the scriptures of the Lord, it's a heavy movie. But they show you like the different things that's possible. They were discovering T-Rexes and all kinds of shit, going through the earth and all of that. So yeah, man, check that out. The Journey to the Other End of the Earth. It's a good movie, and knowing through the spirit, it shows you the power of the Lord, or what's out there, could possibly be out there.
Yeah, and you know, the thing about animated movies too is like, don't sleep on them, because you may think just because it's animated, but they can show more things in an animated movie than they can in real life, because they can animate it. They can literally show anything, you know, by just creating it. So sometimes they hide a lot of, like you said, gems in animated movies, and you think, oh, that's not possible, right? Because they drew it with animations. But no, you don't just get up and think, look, if I ask anybody here, could you think of a new color? You can't. Because color is something that you're exposed to. You can't just think of a new color. So there are certain concepts that you don't just think about. There has to be something related to it, or else you cannot just think about something new, you know? So when these people get up and they put these things in these movies, they don't just get up and randomly make shit up. There is some basis, some foundation that they go based off, you know?
Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and bringeth forth an instrument for his work. I have created the waster to destroy.
So what is his work? What is his work? His work, clearly, there's a job the Most High needs to get done. But it seems that the people he hired for the job are nuclear physicists. Right. So what job could that be? You know, are they there to feed the poor? Clearly, whatever they're building is what's that? 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. The elements shall melt with fervent heat. So that's the job the Most High wants to be done. In Malachi mentions it, in Joel mentions it, all throughout the scriptures, Isaiah 9 and 5. So the Most High wants some disruption, some melting to be done. So he hired these people for the job, right? An instrument for his work, which is to destroy this place.
And like you said, there's two things that's happening: destruction and salvation. Just like in the time of Noah. All right, he instructed Noah to build an ark. right? And then he let the angels bring out the water. You know, the heavens opened up and so on and so forth. The deeps, the earth opened up and the water came up. Yeah, exactly, all that. Springs and all that. This time, you got the left-hand side and you got the right-hand side. The right-hand side of the men of the Lord are building the spiritual ark. But on the left-hand side, you got the physicists, you got the scientists who are building the thing that's going to use to destroy this place. You see? So you got those who are building what's going to help you escape out of here, and you got those who the Lord is using to build who's going to destroy this place, man. You see? Exactly. You know, the ultimate architect. So both sides, he's in control. The architect. You see? You know? That's it. Exactly. You know? So we see everything through the Spirit, and that's why the Lord put us here. He said, look, I'm going to give you the blueprint. I'm going to give you the whole image, the whole movie, the script of the movie, the spoilers, everything. You just got to go out there and tell them. You've already seen the movie. Just go out there and tell them what happens in the movie. Spoiler alert. Give all kinds of spoilers, man. And those who don't listen, oh, I don't want no spoilers. It's too scary. I don't want to hear it. Oh, you guys keep talking about hate. You guys are this. Guess what? You're going to be in there. You're going to go through it. And everything we warned you about that you thought it was crazy, you're going to go through it and you're going to say, yo, this is crazy.
Wait, how much crazy is it going to be? If you didn't believe us when we said it to you, you think it's going to be less crazy when you experience it? You know, experience is much more intense than hearing it, right? If somebody tells you, like Will Smith and Chris Rock, right? Now, I mean, Will Smith smacked the shit out of Chris Rock. Yeah, okay, he smacked the shit out. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Now, if you were Chris Rock, you would have a different understanding of smack the shit out.
Right.
Because he said it. You're feeling that. He said it. And you know that shit. He needed some time to recalibrate. You know what I'm saying? Like, do I shed a tear or do I understand that? You know what I'm saying? He's like, wow.
Yeah.
Smith just smacked the shit out of him right TV. He's wow. And he's hurt. Yep. You know, his big ass jaws and shit. Yeah. I can't touch it, right? So, Chris Rock had a different understanding of smack the shit out of than you would. Right. Now, if you got the shit smacked out of you, when somebody tells you that, you're going to know exactly what he's going through. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Smack this out, unexpected. So, well, you know, could have been expected too, right? But the point is, when you feel something, it's different than when you're hurt, when you hear it. Right. So if you don't believe us telling you about famines and rape and cannibalism, how much worse do you think it'll be when you actually see these things? You know? When we tell you, somebody got shot around the block, damn, that's crazy. Now, what if you were there and you actually saw, what's up, nigga? And the dude just died right there. The blood spilled on you. Now you're experiencing. When you, like, that shot is not something light. You don't just, I forget about it. You might go to sleep thinking, somebody really got shot right in front of you. As opposed to somebody told you, somebody got shot. So when we tell you these things, there's a famine coming, they're going to be killing people in the streets, a lot of death, pestilence. That's different than when you actually experience it. Yep. You see somebody bleeding out their eyes and they drop dead on the side. That is pestilence. Yep. You're going to feel fear. You know what I'm saying? When you're hungry, you're going to feel that. You know? When you're afraid, there's actual physical feelings that you feel. Yep. As opposed to somebody telling you about fear. Right. So when we tell you, man, and you don't want to take heed to what we're saying, you're going to experience it worse. And your mind is not going to be ready. And somebody slaps you off guard, it hurts more than when you expect it. Right? Somebody say, stand there, I'm gonna slap you. You brace for it. So it doesn't hurt as much. But if you just walk in and slap you in the face, it's gonna hurt you much more because you didn't brace for it. So what we're doing is giving you the information so you can mentally brace for what's coming. But you're just like, nah, I'm gonna jump in the ring with Mike Tyson with no boxing experience. What you think he's gonna do to you?
Hey, and it's the Feast of Weeks, right? So it's the spirit that we, talking about spiritual powers and airy things and the strange creatures, the hidden creatures that the Lord got. Because we in the Feast of Weeks, and what happened? 50 days after the Passover, we was going back then. We was in the wilderness. Right. The Lord was judging and jacking Jake, but also you got the day of Pentecost in the Book of Acts. Penta means 5, like a pentagram, pentagon, 5. You had a lot of believers was added to the church, right? And a lot of they was able to understand each other in their own languages. You know what I'm saying? So we are in the time of spirit, the Lord showing off His power, man. And the Lord also and the Lord judging Jake. This dude Kevin Samuels, the Lord put him down. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of other and the Lord been whacking these celebrities. But a lot of judgment shall begin at what? The house of the Lord. So you got the Feast of Weeks 50 days after the Passover, the literal first Passover with Jake in the wilderness getting jacked up. Then you got the Feast of Weeks going into the book of Acts, the 2nd chapter, to where a lot of believers was added to the church and a lot of miracles was done and being performed to give glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Yeah.
So it's heavy that, through the Spirit, we bringing this out. And actually the Feast of Weeks came in as the 6th at evening. So we in the Feast of Weeks now, so that's beautiful, man.
Yeah, that's heavy too, because what's the vibration now? You got guys in Israel saying that, oh, it ain't gonna be no signs, no miracles. So it's like you provoking, like now it's like the Lord always does that, always, man. He said, okay, they saying this shit. All right, what the children of Israel saying? What the bullshit they're talking over there? Yo, let me show them something real quick. All the time, he says all the time. Oh, they talking shit? Okay, well, you know what? Let's do some shit to them. Let's find out what they're gonna say after this. Oh, they say this? Okay, well, they don't believe. Okay, let's give them something to believe. So it's always a vibration. Oh, the Most High is not gonna do this. Then the Most High come in and do this and more. And then you say they're like, yeah, shit, what the fuck? And then something else come up. It's always some type of controversy, and then that's how the Lord brings out the elect. It's always like that.
Because he got to stir things up. Now, and this time we don't know exactly how the Most High, because the Most High did it back then with the languages,
right?
But there was a reason, because you had that language barrier, right? Yeah. And so now, you have a lot of technology. I can literally go on Google Translate, right? And if you speak Spanish, I can just type in, because Google Translate actually has audio now, where you can speak in Spanish and it can translate to English for me. So now, you may not, the Lord might say, well, you already have this means, but he might do something else, So the Most High, he's always creative with it, but we know they ain't gonna be, you can't survive what's coming without divine intervention. You're gonna need divine, Isaiah 59:19 is written for a reason. We're gonna need divine intervention. How are we gonna eat during a famine and everybody else is starving? Right. The matter of fact, the beast of the field shall be at peace with you. How is that gonna happen? Right. How are we gonna get delivered out of here? Right. When the troops are coming for us, how are we gonna survive that? Right. These troops train day and night, kick people in the chest and shit, running miles, breathing, holding their breath for minutes underwater. So if they're chasing us, look, I don't care how fit you are, you can't outrun. You know what I'm saying? You running from one
exoskeleton suits and all that shit.
And they guns and stuff like that. What are you gonna do about that? That's why we're gonna need divine intervention, man. Look at us. Yeah. How the hell are we gonna survive this?
Just don't run, bro. They start coming at, just be like, you got it, go ahead. Yeah. That's it. Like, you don't go run this shit.
Lord,
you need the we need the Lord, man. Yeah. But see, the Most High is the way he's doing it is when everyone needs him the most. That's when he's gonna pull back and be like, nah, I'm only dealing with you, and you. That's it. Everybody else is like, yo,
Lord, let me know who
there you go. He's going to be glorified through those individuals. Yeah. Because the non-believers going to look on and they're going to be like, oh.
I believe Sean was going to say something.
Just adding back to the point I said earlier about power comes in response to a need, not a desire. Also, just to add to your point that how those guys always train and all that. The guy, if you watch that movie, Terminator 2, the guy who was the Terminator, the silver one or whatever, the one that can liquefy.
T-1000.
Yeah, the actor who played him, it was said like there's like something on YouTube where they said like they reveal certain things like backstories on like the movie, what goes on the set. The guy who was playing the T-1000 or whatever, he was doing it so well, like he was able to control his breathing so well that when John Connor was running away from him, he was actually catching up to him. But he's not supposed to supposed to do that. Oh, okay. But he was controlling his breathing so well that he caught up to him. And it was like, yo, you gotta slow down. No, but he's actually doing that. They say, yo, you gotta slow down because you're catching up to him.
Oh, shit. He was on John Connor's ass. Because he was hawking the shit out of it.
Because the actors take their role seriously. They gotta actually, like even like when he was shooting the gun, if you look at it, he doesn't blink. Because he's supposed to portray a machine. Right. And machines don't blink when they shoot. Like if a human, you're gonna blink with a flash. But a robot doesn't blink. So you see him, he's like this. And he's not blinking because he's like actually getting into it. So like so John Connor's on the bike actually going, and he's like, because he's controlling his breathing so well.
That's one of my favorite scenes and shit. But I'm like, damn, I thought that was some bullshit, like some speed up shit. I didn't know he was actually walking down that dirt bike like that. 'Cause, yo, he was on his ass.
Damn,
And that's when he jumped in the truck and all that. Yeah.
So just to add to Aharon's point, how much more men was actually
Right,
trained,
trained that
like
way. Yeah.
how well they gonna control their brain. They might be near you in seconds.
Yeah.
They're like,
The MK Ultra, all that shit.
And it's more than one.
Man.
That's the thing. See, there's power in numbers. You can have weak ass niggas. You can have a bunch of 8-year-olds. But imagine you got 50 8-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's going to see one or two. Yo, stop playing around. Now, if one just hit you in the back of the head, boom, you turn around, another one kick you in the back and shit. It's a lot of 58-year-olds getting your ass beat. But it's like, yeah, there's 8-year-olds, but it's a lot of them.
Yeah.
So now imagine a troop who will probably kick your ass one on one. These troops throw the knife away and come and mess you, and you can have a knife. And you come and mess your ass up, right? Now that's one-on-one, and these troops, they come in numbers, hundreds, thousands. You wake up, and they got guns. They come in your hallway, right? Helicopters and all that, and you wake up with niggas with guns in your face. You gonna tell me you don't need miracles then?
They're trained, bro. They don't got sympathy, man. Like they're trained underground bunkers, like for years. They've gone through experiments. There's documentation on it. Hey, no one, I just have to bring it up. That's it. Documentations on it. They got camps like this. Like when you go there right now, it looks like it's abandoned.
Yeah.
But it's all done by design. It says, "Do not enter, not available to the public." What do you think they're doing over there? You know?
It's 1700 hour.
You know? They got these people ready, man. Since the 60s, the 70s, hey, even Clinton said it. He said, you know, we experimented, we're sorry for all the experiments that we did on the American people and all that shit. What you think they did all that for, man? All the chemicals, the engineering, the technology that they've made even better. You got Bill Gates now coming out talking about CRISPR. You know, if they're able to use mRNA to change people's, you know, what DNA with a simple injection, that's on a large scale. How much more a specific control group that they're trying to get something out of, man?
Where do you think they get the concept of Wolverine and
All that.
Deadpool?
Deadpool.
Captain America. Why do you think that? Now you ask yourself, right? How are they so detailed in showing you the mechanic? You know, when they actually explain the mechanics of the movie, it makes so much sense because there's actual science behind that. They can look at the starfish and study how it's able to regrow its limbs and experiment on these soldiers. You know?
They got the salamander. When
Yeah,
you cut it,
yeah.
it will regenerate. They got that same technology in humans now, man. They've been had that for years. You know?
that was in that movie with Jamie Foxx, Project Power.
Oh, I seen that.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel too. Bloodshot.
Yeah.
Bloodshot, You see, so they show you all the, it's called predictive programming, man. They show you this in the movies. And they show you the things that they're doing behind the scenes, but in a movie form, so when you see it in real life, it's normalized.
Remember France and China? A couple, like last year, came out talking about super soldiers.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden now it's died down, right?
Yep. The darker robot dogs, we talked about it,
Right.
now they're coming out.
Right.
They said they're going to use them to test. They already using it in China now, man. So it's going to be a norm very soon. You're going to see RoboCop, all that shit.
They
It's
used
real
that
life.
Docker dog in the projects already.
Oh,
Yes, it was, I think, Williamsburg or something. Like it was a sting operation. Shit came out the project hallway behind the cops.
They actually got robots, like actual humanoid robots like that too, that like know how to shoot guns. And they're not robots where you push him and he just tips over. No. The robot, if
when
he's
the
going,
somersault, the
he falls back,
I
he
see that
chases
shit,
you and shit. And this is an actual robot jumping, shooting, grabbing, you know, and it can detect like based on your facial movement what you're about to do. Yeah, you trying to wrestle a robot. You know how strong these robots are? And you rip the arm off of a robot, it doesn't slow down.
It stop. Niggas used to like kick that shit, like they'll use a thing to hit it, and then it'll go back,
Yeah, and they'll
and
come
it'll go
back
right
up.
back
Yep.
into its form again. Now I did a video a few months ago going into facial recognition that they have on the guillotines, man. The guillotines that they have now is called smart guillotines, where once you have your face in there, it doesn't just come down automatically. It's not manual where somebody can control it like back then. Now it sees your face and it'll recognize who you are. So if you're already on the wanted list, it's not gonna be like, oh, my head is here, and there's somebody who's gonna look at me and be like, oh, you know what? Let him go.
Oh, you just got it. It's
Nah,
coming
once you
down.
get there, they see your face, you one of them, boom, it's coming down. That's it. It's called smart guillotines.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's over. Like the technology they got is they have fully autonomous weapons, meaning that they're programmed to do a certain task. So if they say, all right, we're gonna put them in J communities, when you see this kind of person, it's regular
What's that called? The
on
purge.
site.
The purge.
The purge,
They send the drones out
The drones,
to-
yep. So all these things is gonna come out very soon, man. Hey, through the Spirit, Jacob's trouble, you can expect all of this shit. That's what we keep saying. If you don't got the Lord on your side, you're not gonna make it.
You're gonna need the miracles there.
Yeah.
Like Terminator 3, when she was looking for Sarah Connor, she tasted the blood.
Oh shit.
The machine, it was like blood on. She like tasted it and it scanned like the DNA, and then knew it was like that wasn't Sarah, it was John Connor. That was one of the targets, and she tasted the blood on the floor, and that's how she knew he was nearby.
Like today they'll take a blood sample, run it in the system. And the robot could just do that right away. Yo, man, that's why the Lord said it's gonna be it's not here. A time like never before, man, because you will not be able to survive what's coming without the Most High is the one himself who said you're gonna need me. If the Most High didn't think we would need him, he wouldn't tell us that. He said, look, I'm gonna protect you. I'm gonna keep you. Because look, my nigga, when I'm finna bring, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta put you to the side, man. This ain't no little game, man. Trust me.
You know, people are not ready, so that's what's gonna make it even worse. Because like it don't matter how much guns you got, you're still gonna run out. Do you know how much ammo the DHS got? The DHS, the hollow point bullets that it hits and it expands.
Oh, and it shatters.
It shatters.
It spreads inside your body,
everything, man. So just one, boom, and then it opens up, and then your organs get split. Oh man, they got all kinds of shit, man. And they're still developing more.
Yeah, you can think, well, hit me in the non-vital spot.
Right.
But once the bullet enters you and it expands, it could spread and hit somewhere that's vital.
Yeah. So hey man, we just gonna keep praying to the Lord, you know, for that protection, man, because look, there's gonna be a brutal scene out here. If the Lord is about to send his mercenaries, and it's not gonna be pretty. That's why it says spare none of them, spare not old, young, women, men. That's how it's gonna be, because it's gonna be machines. Once they get that order, it's not like, oh, a human being that thinks, oh man, that's a pregnant woman, I'm not gonna do. No, bro. They eliminated all those people who are like that. Right in the military, they said, if you're not compliant, you can't be here no more. If you're in a hospital, if you're not compliant, you can't be here no more, because the mission is so sinister, they can't have people who have empathy, man.
Right.
You can't have empathy for the shit that's about to happen. You can't handle it. It has to be cold cut, I see blood and I'm coming forward. That's it. If you got that like, oh man, that's too harsh. You're not ready for the job. You can't be in the military, man. You can't be here. You gotta go. You know? You're not fit for the job.
That's when they're gonna have try to have like the machines wipe out the humans based upon that, going back into Terminator. That's what Skynet was about. You know what I mean? And two hands, the whole thing. You know what I mean? When machines turned on humans, and in 3 they sent the virus to the machine. They whole thing was to wipe out all humans. You know?
Population. So
yeah, wipe out the population, which is all visual, you know, through depopulation. You know, because they got all that other shit on the Georgia Guidestones, because to them that's their 10 Commandments. But a lot of this shit Esau's doing now is for depopulation.
Right.
They first command, like the Lord's first command, look, don't have no other gods before me. I'm gonna get into not break the Sabbath and all that. But listen, don't have no, if you really want to, and you really check it out, Jake was good. We was sinning.
Right.
He was fucking us up. We was sinning, but we was still good. But once we start dealing with them other gods, he like, nah. And he was like, damn, this the first thing, like, this first thing first. Don't have no other gods before me, you know? So with Esau on the left-hand side, first thing first, we got to wipe these motherfuckers out. We got to bring these numbers down. So the gender wars, everything, a lot of things, Esau doing, all that is formed under that first Georgia Guidestone. Bring the earth down to 500 million or under.
you know? Earth. We about to be almost 9 billion. Is it 8 billion or so?
Yeah.
Say we gotta bring it to 500 million. That's insane. You know, that's like over 90% of the world's population gotta be wiped out. Over 90%. That's a lot of people, man. That's why the Lord said, if I don't shorten the days, there shall be no flesh that's gonna be saved. Because the mandate that's gonna be given to that red horse, man. Just go out there and slay utterly both old and young, little children, women, all that. Just kill them all.
Right.
And then only my elect, don't touch them. Don't come near any one of the men that have the mark of exemption on them, man.
You're gonna see how important those men are gonna be in that time. Death is gonna have a field day out there, man. I'm telling you, man. It's gonna be crazy.
That's what's gonna make the
Okay, but how should we do it?
find gold. Because if death can't touch him, then what the fuck? You can't. Gold, you can destroy gold.
You can hold gold and silver there.
Exactly. But gold can't buy you out of death. You know what I'm saying?
Righteousness delivers from death.
Boom. There you go. See, so that's what's gonna make us precious because we're gonna be invincible to death, man. You know, if you're of the elect, you're a man of the Lord, and you're not meant to be a martyr, you're not gonna die.
Hey,
You know?
brother did a video basically how some of us are immortal right now.
Right.
Because
Right.
Yahushua said it. He said there'd be some of you standing here but shall not taste of
Taste
death.
death, yep.
So there's some of us who it doesn't mean like actually it kind of does mean that like you're technically immortal because
You're not gonna die.
you might get shot, but the Lord's plans are you're gonna be alive at my return.
Yep.
So you ain't gonna die no matter what happens.
what.
You're there's some that are destined to be martyrs, and there's some that are destined from this lifetime
Yep.
for all eternity. You're not gonna die. You know, closest you'll get is the change of your body.
Right,
That's
right,
it.
right. That's it.
You know, so that's just to think about that alone is like, oh shit, like you know.
And the Lord already, he haven't shown, but some brothers he have shown, that have delivered from death, because like our walk, through life before we came into the truth,
Right.
different things we went through, fucking, whether car accidents or whatever, some things you've seen, some things you haven't seen, but you still here in one whole, and that could be what? To do the Lord's will. But we're not gonna be like, yeah, I want to see if the scriptures say, don't tempt the Lord.
Yep.
I'm gonna put a 44 to my head and fucking try to blow my brains out to see if I'm part of the elect. So there ain't nobody doing no crazy shit like that, but we'll find out when that time comes, when things get real, and you see these spirits and these different judgments going around you and not coming near you.
And it's crazy how you can think of certain possibilities that'll never happen. Like how King Solomon prayed and said that if all Israel repented and turned to the Lord, would be delivered. And you think about like all Israel got to do this, but it will never happen. You know, and like how the other said, you got somebody of the elect that's like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna just try to blow my brains out and see if I'm of the elect. But nobody of the elect is actually ever going to do that.
Exactly.
And if you do that, then you ain't. So the Lord set it up that way where it's so possible, but it's impossible. It's crazy.
Yeah, God, like you trapped.
Okay.
50, Isaiah 54 and 17, continuing. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper.
How is that going to happen? Is a gun not a weapon? So if a gun is formed against thee, like the book of Eli, where they shot at him and the bullet didn't touch him? Go ahead.
And the Lord said what? Esau is the Lord's, or what? His sword.
Yep.
And the sword is a weapon.
There
So
you
Esau
go.
not going to touch us.
There
He
you
can't
go.
do shit to us, man. That's what he's afraid of.
Yep.
So we're going to get that spiritual power, man. Don't listen to these guys talking about we ain't going to get no signs, man. They don't believe that we do. All right, so leave them alone, man.
The chariots is a sign.
Boom.
Right there. Like that's like, and that's obvious nowadays, So what the hell are you talking about? That's a sign.
Yep.
The blood moon. There shall be signs, These guys is bugged out, man.
Hey, the most important sign is us even being on the scene.
That's like we can break down
We
the
can break down the
scriptures.
scriptures, man. That's the biggest sign, man.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, bro?
Yeah, how do you go from niggas on the street to breaking down the deep mysteries of the Bible, that even scholars don't know how to break down? Somebody that might have been selling drugs, gangbanging, can break down the Bible that scholars can't explain. That's not a sign?
That's a super miracle.
It's crazy.
The walks of life Jake went through, the fucking booby traps Esau set up with the fucking drugs, the gangbanging, the fucking single parent homes, all the hell that Jake, the fucking NBA, even the so-called good shit, the NBA contracts, the fucking scholarships, the fucking record deals, the goodies he gave Jake and the booby traps the hell he put on Jake. For you to come up out of that and be breaking down the mysteries of the Bible and wake up to who you are, that's a super fucking miracle. You know what I mean? Fuck spiritual powers. You know what I'm saying? That's heavy right there. Because spiritual powers, you like, but the really, I flicked at the car, just kind of amazing on a physical note too. But like, to really come from that doing this, and all right, one person do it, but you see groups of people doing that. You know what I mean? With no curriculum set up to actually like, of course we got the apostles, but a real like school curriculum set up to push that, to bring our people up out of that generational curse that been put on our people for fucking centuries. That's amazing, man. Nah, that's cool. I was about to put it back. But yeah, that's amazing. The water, brother. But hey, man, that's amazing when you really think about that.
Yeah. That's heavy, man. Because, and the thing about it too is we're dedicated. You know, imagine that, right? Like you would think about something like this. You couldn't even pay a nigga enough money to be diligent doing something like this, because it's so opposite of what they were doing before. And yet you don't got nobody's paying us. We're doing this of our own. We wake up and we say, you know what? Something that compels you to do this, to come out here in the cold, in the rain, in the winter, in the summer, in the spring, all of that. Nobody pays us. As a matter of fact, people want us to not do this.
Right.
And yet we're still out here. You don't, and everybody that's sincere about it got that same spirit.
Hey, that's why Yahushua said what? That this generation seeketh for a sign, but they're not going to get any sign but the sign of Jonah. You know?
But we about to wrap it up.
17, continuing. And every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment, thou shalt condemn.
Right? And that's what we're doing now with this truth, man. No matter who comes against us, they always get slain, man. They get slain spiritually. All right? You can't come against the word of the Most High. You can't come against the men of the Most High, man. All right? It's all a futile effort. All right? It's always been a futile effort. It will always be a futile effort, man. And very soon, when you see that spiritual power come to play, that's when you're going to be like, all right, that's it. It's over. All right? The innumerable multitude, that army, that powerful army that you're going to see very soon, man. Yo, it's going to be something to behold. These other nations going to bow down when they see the men of the Lord coming through. All right, very soon, man. You know, because we have a different elk. All right, a different spirit. Okay, and the earth is going to have to embrace that spirit, man. All right, a spirit of righteousness, a spirit of truth, the spirit of power. All right, the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai being brought upon this earth again, man. Okay, and we're ushering in the King of Kings himself. And when he makes that return very soon, man, yeah, that's when you're really going to see what power is really all about. Okay?
This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord.
Here you go, the heritage of the servants of the Lord, man. All right? Here's the faith and the patience of the saints. All right? And it starts with the who? The elect, man. It starts with the elect, starting with the prophets on down. Okay? So nothing that's going to happen from this place on out is going to come against the men of the Lord, man. We are protected. Okay, because we've been ordained to do the works of the Heavenly Father.
Hey, the scriptures say, touch not mine anointed, but do my prophets no harm.
That's right.
You know, so long as we continue in the faith of Yahweh, but so long as we continue in the faith of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, man, we ain't got nothing to worry about. We're serving the King of the universe. And if an average company will protect their workers and their servants, how much more for the King of the universe, right?
And nobody can stop the words of Heavenly Father. That means you can't stop His prophets, because we are His mouthpiece. So if the Most High, you can't physically go stop the Most High from speaking, you can't physically stop us from speaking, man. And once He's done talking, the actions come to play, and the prophet's not going to be here no more, man. All right? That's pretty much it.
Was it on that?
Just a little bit. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord.
There you go. So, so that's thus saith the Lord. Our righteousness is of the Lord. So, guess what? You got a problem? Take it up with the Lord. Why are we doing this? Go ask the Lord. We're doing His work. Our righteousness is of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. That's it. You know. All right. So, Elder got anything? No. All right. So, hey, with that, Lord willing, you know, you were edified. In closing, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Ba'ashim Rakah Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.